ESPN College Football presented by Cars.com. Today we come to you from Boston College. The Eagles are coming off a thrilling come-from-behind win at Clemson last week that has given them a spot in the ACC championship game, taking on a Miami team that really has owned them for the past couple of decades, winning 15 straight in this rivalry. I'm Pam Ward, joined by Ray Bentley and Rob Simmelcare down on the field. Game time temperature about 29 degrees as Miami comes north in a game they have to win in order to be bowl eligible.
Perfect football weather. This is hitting weather, Pam.
It's nose-running chilly weather and good hitting weather. The final regular season game for both teams, and we are underway. Miami won the toss, but deferred. BC receives, and it is taken. And a good return up close to the 40-yard line by Rich Gunnell, the wide receiver who caught the game-winning pass last week at Clemson, starts this game out with a 26-yard kick return. The last time Boston College beat Miami, one of the most memorable plays ever.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this one, pay close attention. Doug Flutie, 1984, looking for a Heisman Trophy, also looking for Gerard Phelan. Finds him in the end zone, the improbable Hail Mary, Hail Flutie, and that was the last time that Boston College beat Miami.
15 straight times Boston College has fallen to the Hurricanes as Andre Callender, one of 22 seniors playing today for Boston College, picks up a couple of yards as we look closer at this rivalry with our Sonic Rivalry Notebook. Miami leading the series handily, 22-3, and again, the last time Miami lost was on that miracle throw, and that was at the Orange Bowl in Miami. It's been much longer since Boston College has beaten them up here.
And huge stakes for Miami today, a chance to get bowl eligible in a disappointing season.
Boy, Ryan with a lot of time finds his receiver. It's John Lloyd, his tight end, and Lloyd, the senior from Gloucester, Mass, picks up the first down, but now the ball.
Yeah, it got stolen away. That should be Miami football. It was picked up by the linebacker. I can't quite get the number. Actually, it's Ponder, number 35. Levon Ponder just took the football away from the tight end.
And they are going to say it is indeed Miami ball. Lloyd looked like he was on his way to a first down, but a strip and a takeaway from this Miami defense that has really had a hard time getting any takeaways this year.
Yeah, you see Lloyd just crossing underneath. It's all cleared out. He's going to have the football. Watch Ponder come right here and just rip it out right there. Bam, he's got it right now. That before forward progress was stopped. That's a good takeaway. Ponder just ripping it away, and Miami starts with a big play on defense early.
And they get very good field position starting out on the Boston College 47. Javaris James gets the first carry and he loses a yard. The running game really has been suffering all season. Let's look at the Miami offense introduced by our booth camera operator, Brian Sachs.
The Miami offense rolls into Boston, led by senior quarterback Kyle Wright. Behind him is Baby J, Javarius James, and he's wicked fast. And looking to bounce back is the offensive line, who's been outscored 96-14 in the past 2 games.
Program Saxon, yes, everybody, that is his own hair. 2nd and 12 out of the backfield now. James gets it, and he picks up 10 yards. Will be a couple yards short of the first down. Now our Boston College defense introduced by another one of our camera operators, Mike Moody.
It is hereby proclaimed on this 13th Saturday of Gridiron Transgressions that the following players are bringing it to the new world. Senior defensive end Nick Larkin, surprising sophomore Mark Herzlich, and free safety Jamie Silva leads the team in tackles.
All in the Thanksgiving spirit, working so hard on this Thanksgiving weekend as Miami faces a 3rd and 2. Little play action. Wright going to keep it himself, and he is stopped short of the first down. As Boston College able to get him near the line of scrimmage, Jim Ramella coming up to make the stop. So you're Miami. What are you doing here? It's 4th and a long one, maybe two, and they're going to go for it.
Yeah, you got to go for it. And Randy Shannon's going to pull out all the stops in this game. They need to win to really salvage the season. So he's going to go for it today.
Miami coming in 5 and 6. There are 4 receivers in on the 4th and 2. Wright throws it, and it is tipped away, incomplete. Very good coverage, as Sam Shields was the intended receiver, but Taji Morris, one of the 22 seniors on the squad, flicking the ball away.
And put a blanket on him, and you see Randy Shannon not real happy with his receiver. It's the receiver's job. Sam Shields has to win on this deal. He's just going against Morris, getting inside, and he just doesn't run the route to perfection, and the ball was a tad late. And then give Morris a lot of credit. He came down and made a nice play.
Morris, one of 17 Boston College players who have graduated already, as Callender tries the right side of his line and picks up 6 on that carry. Matt Ryan, the senior, playing in his final game at Chesnut Hill, has had a spectacular season with a couple of flutie-like endings to games, including last week against Clemson, and then last month a great comeback against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you ready for some high praise for Matt Ryan? He looks like Brady, throws like Manning, and wins like Favre. Top that.
Very difficult to do so, as Matt goes against the grain to L.V. Whitworth out of the backfield, and Whitworth fights his way to what appears to be a first down. Darryl Sharpton makes the stop. Continuing now with Boston College's offense. Let's go to Heather Wilson, our operations manager.
The Boston College offense is led by number 12, Heisman candidate quarterback Matt Ryan. And carving his way through the Miami defense is number 32, Andre Callender. And leading the big boys in the front is offensive lineman number 77, Gosder Sherilis.
How do you like those Boston accents, too? They're coming through.
Very nice.
And Heather is big in the booth today because she brought us some hand warmers before kickoff. Temperatures in the 20s right now, expected to go into the mid-30s. That was indeed a first down for Whitworth. As there he is, Jeff Jagodzinski. Have not talked about him yet. The first-year head coach coming back to Boston, where he was an assistant coach before he took some other jobs, and eventually his path brought him back to Chestnut Hill. Good run by Callender, as he is able to break a tackle and get close to another Eagle first down.
Yeah, and this is the backside linebacker really needs to make the play. Courtney Harris, take a look at him. Watch him over pursue this thing. He's got the cutback, but he's going to get pinned right here, and that allows that seam right there.
This Boston College team has been known for its running backs and proficient running. This year, though, they're more heavily weighted toward throwing the ball. One reason is they have the talented Matt Ryan back there chucking away. Is Whitworth's turn, and he does get the first down. Abdullah with the stop. And finally, let's take a look at Miami's defense. Our on-field camera operator, Elaine Rom.
The recipe for this Miami defense starts with a big helping of defensive end Calais Campbell. He'll be serving up the stuffing. Hunting down the turkey, senior linebacker Tavares Gooden. And the secondary will certainly have their plate full with Heisman hopeful Matt Ryan.
Ryan handing it off to Callender, and Callender picks up about 3. Boston College's second possession of the game. Lukman Abdallah coming up with another stop.
Haven't really seen him throw the ball much. You know, this is a football team that loves to air it out. Steve Logan, the offensive coordinator, realized what he has in Matt Ryan, and he has really gone to the pass this year, but not so much early in the game. Let's see if they can run it on this Miami D.
They're 7th in the nation in rushing offense, 7th in passing rather, 104th in rushing, and they try the screen, and that's going to lose yardage as Callender is stopped by Daryl Sharpton for a 3-yard loss. For more on Matt Ryan, let's go down to the third member of our team, Rob Simmelcare.
All right, Pam and Ray, I don't want to make you guys feel old today, but, you know, Matt Ryan was in utero in 1984 when that famous Doug Flutie play took place to beat Miami. And despite the fact that he was not in a position to see the game, he knows all about it and knows, more importantly, about the losing streak that Boston College has had since then. And even though they've got that spot in the ACC game wrapped up already, we spoke to him yesterday, and he was very focused on being the guy to break that streak for the Eagles.
Says it's impossible not to hear about it or see it. And by the way, I think Rob was alive when that happened as well.
Yeah.
And make us feel old.
Yeah, join the crowd, Robbie.
Delay of game against Matt Ryan and company, and you see just the spectacular career that he has had. Doug Flutie still the standard bearer with over 10,000 career passing yards, and Matt Ryan is at number 3. Glenn Foley at number 2 on that list. 3rd and 15 after the delay call. Ryan with plenty of time, and he has a wide open receiver. Andre Callender, even though he's a running back, is the leading receiver for the Eagles, and he gets the first down. 21-yard pickup.
Yeah, and Andre Callender is the primary receiver in a lot of plays that Steve Logan calls because he is so good at it. He's just outstanding. Watch, he is going to just come from here and run that route right up the field. The linebacker who has the coverage on him stops his feet. Now he's in a trail position. Matt Ryan looking for that one all the way.
Huge play on 3rd and 15. Now first down from the 20. Callender with the cutback inside the 10. Another first down for the Eagles, and a 1st and goal coming up. Kenny Phillips made the stop. Phillips banged up playing on a hurt ankle. In fact, a lot of players for Miami, especially on defense, have been nicked up. They have only 6 healthy defensive linemen today.
Yeah, and that's really kind of been a blessing in disguise for Randy Shannon's football team, though, because that's allowed them to work a lot of younger guys in, and they're getting good playing time. And then when the guys get healthy, they're not getting, you know, knocked back out of the lineup.
And on 1st and goal, Callender gets the carry, but a flag is down on the play. This Boston College's defense also having some issues with injuries.
Yeah, this time of year, everybody pretty much has issues with injuries. In fact, only one
chop block, number 67 of the offense. The 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's senior Tom Nevsky called for the chop block, so BC will be moved back from the 7.
I was going to say, Pam, only one starting unit has had their defense out there the whole year. That's Connecticut. They started the same 11 guys. They're the only team in the country who has done that. So Coach Jagosinski, along with Randy Shannon, everybody has to deal with injuries. And most coaches will tell you that's no excuse. But I'll tell you from personal experience, it is a pretty good reason.
There's Connecticut playing a huge game later on today at West Virginia. The winner of that game will represent, or will be, the Big East champion. They do not have a Big East championship game. 1st and goal way back on the 22 after the chop block call, and this play doesn't even get going.
Yeah, the left tackle moved early. That's
before the snap. False start. 77 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Gosder Shirless.
Later today, just what we were talking about. The Huskies try to complete a dream season with the Big East title, but they'd have to win at West Virginia. Others see Georgia, Georgia Tech, or Oregon, UCLA. Check your local listings for the game in your area. College football presented by Best Buy, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Remington. Today, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. College football lives here.
And how happy do you think Rich Rodriguez was yesterday when Arkansas pulled off the upset, knocked LSU out of that #1 perch?
Now West Virginia looking good. This is a 1st and goal. Another flag is down. Ryan completes it, but we might be getting another holding penalty. Rich Gunnell with the catch on this. That was the 10th play of this drive, but it's been riddled by penalty flags, and it is indeed a hold against the Eagles.
Boy, how about Matt Ryan, his ability to scramble and have the presence in the pocket to find the escape route and then stay alive and throw it down the field. He keeps his eyes downfield as well as any quarterback I've seen at the collegiate level.
Holding, 73 of the offense. 10 yards to the previous spot. First down.
That's Cliff Ramsey, right guard, junior. BC had a 1st and goal at the 9, and then all the penalties started. And look at Ryan getting after his guys.
And he will do that, Pam. That's a big part of his leadership role with this football team. He is not shy about getting in people's grill and letting them know that that's not good enough.
3 straight plays, 3 straight penalties for Boston College. Was 1st and goal at the 9. Now it's 1st and goal at the 37. Ryan gets out of the pocket and then throws in a dangerous pass, but somehow completed to Callender. Callender was covered up by Chevis Grant and somehow was able to adjust and make the catch. It looked like Ryan was throwing that into trouble.
Yeah, that's a little Flutie magic type right there to me, because there's no way that this should be a complete pass. Watch Matt Ryan. He's going to go ahead and scramble it outside a little bit, and Callender comes out of the backfield. He's going to get pressure from the outside by Antonio Dixon, but he keeps it alive, keeps his eyes down the field, and just throws up, a hope and wish ball. And his wishes and hopes came true.
That's a 23-yard gain. Outstanding catch by Callender. So now they're getting closer. That ball was tipped as the intended receiver, Brandon Robinson, was down in the middle of the field. And Robinson is one of many receivers that are referred to by their offensive coordinator, Steve Logan, as little fast guys. They're sort of interchangeable. In fact, he says he's just now getting to know their names.
All you little fast guys are over here, the rest of you over there. That's how he calls them. And he knows numbers, but not so good on the full names. He had some last names for us.
Brandon Robinson at 5'10", 194 out of Minneapolis. And now it's 3rd and goal on the 14. Ryan with time, and boy, that was big coverage. Callender again, the intended receiver, and Daryl Sharpton was
mugged him
all over him, and there was no flag forthcoming.
And Callender is the primary receiver in a lot of this stuff. And here, take a look at it, and you see Sharpton's looked to me like he was riding piggyback. I thought he had a hold of Callender's waist, but the ball was tipped a little bit, I think.
And so now a 31-yard field goal attempt by Steve Apanavicius, the junior from Easton, who was the toast of the town last year as he walked onto the team and made some huge field goals, but that one is wide right. Apanavicius, only his 15th attempt of the season, and he had hit his now 10 of 15. So that's a good stop for Randy Shannon's guys. BC had it 1st and goal at the 9. 3 straight penalties pushed them back, capped off by Apanavicius missing the field goal. Still scoreless here at Boston College. The Eagles just had a drive that ate up 7 minutes and 21 seconds, but came away with no points. 87 yards of offense on that drive, but they lost 33 yards on 4 penalties.
Yeah, and that's really not been a big problem of theirs this year. They need to clean things up.
Apanavicius missing a 31-yard field goal, and so Miami gets the ball back, and tripping down to the floor is Javaris James. Let's go now to the studio. An update with Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, we have a Taco Bell studio update. The battle for the Commonwealth. The stakes have never been higher. Virginia Tech and Virginia. Winner goes to the ACC championship game. Tyrod Taylor going in for the Hokies. Sean Glennon's getting his turn at quarterback right now, and Tech's up by 7.
Thank you, Reese. Obviously a big game anyway between those two rivals, but the winner of this game will take on Boston College a week from today in Jacksonville for the ACC championship. Right on the move, scrambles out. Mike McLaughlin makes the tackle after a 3-yard gain for the quarterback. The ACC already has 7 bowl-eligible teams, and 1 more will get in today. There you see Boston College atop. They've won the Atlantic Division. Virginia and Virginia Tech fighting out for the Coastal Division Championship. Maryland taking on NC State right now, and the winner of that game will be 6-6. Miami wins there at 6-6. So what you're looking at are 9 potential bowl-eligible teams for 8 spots.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough year for a 6-6 team to get in, because so many teams with the added 12th game of the schedule have gotten to 7 this year.
And if you have 7 wins, you get preference over the 6-win teams, and that pass is dropped by Khalil Jones, the junior from Miami, who is on the track team, and they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, and this has been a problem for Patrick Nix, the offensive coordinator's offense, all year long. Breakdown somewhere, someplace within a given play. That time it was Khalil Jones, but it's been a different guy pretty much every time. They can't get all 11 to get it done on a given play.
Boscher's punt, Jamie Silva, was about 20 yards downfield as Boscher leaves that one very short. Great field position for Matt Ryan after only a 28-yard punt. The Eagles take over at midfield.
Poor Frosty the Snowman had to hurry on his way.
There's some of the holiday cheers. Ray Bentley joins in with the carolers downtown in Boston on this wonderful Thanksgiving weekend, and they're out there. It's been really cold the last couple of days after a beautiful Thanksgiving day. And Boston College, the football team now, boy, that's a big hit right at the line of scrimmage as Lukman Abdallah just bowled over Andre Callender for a 1-yard loss. We go back to Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, 1AA playoffs. James Madison against Appalachian State. Of course, the Mountaineers, the ones who started this crazy season by beating Michigan. And now they fall behind. Rodney Landers to Griff Yancey. It is the Dukes up by 7 in the first quarter.
Thank you, Reese. Those playoffs so exciting. Montana, among the unbeatens. Northern Iowa #1 as that pass is tipped away at the last second. John Lloyd, the tight end, the intended receiver, but Tavares Gooden, the senior from Fort Lauderdale, just getting a finger on it.
Boy, he made a great play, too. And Purvis is a heck of a receiver at tight end, and to have a middle linebacker have to cover him down the middle in a cover 2, boy, that's a good play right there. You see Gooden just getting a hand, knocking that ball away. It was actually Lloyd, excuse me, not Purvis. But either one of those tight ends is a tough matchup for a middle linebacker, and Gooden got it done.
Gooden, among the Hurricanes who have already achieved their undergraduate degree, leads the team in tackles. 3rd and 11, Ryan over the middle, and it should have been picked off right into the hands of Levon Ponder, but he could not bring it in. So Boston College squanders another opportunity. They've had great field position. Starting that drive at the 50, they lose a yard overall and have to punt.
Yeah, and they wanted Callender. They motioned him out, set him on the outside, and he's got a nice matchup. But you look at that number 4, the safety, Sharp, coming over the top as well. They double team the running back when he goes and lines up as the receiver because he is their best receiver, the guy that Matt Ryan looks to first.
But instead it was a near interception. Johnny Ayers' first punt of the day, with Darnell Jenkins fair catching it at his 21-yard line. So Ayers only a 30-yard punt for Ayers, who was also on the baseball team at Boston College. So BC has had good starting field position in all 3 of its possessions, but Randy Shannon's team, they need a win today, still scoreless.
Okay, for the trivia night win, this lays over 300 million eggs.
Yeah, that's the mola mola, or ocean sunfish, average length of 1.8 meters.
Wow, yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of a huge deep sea guy. No big deal.
Welcome to the field of 328. The season-long journey continues with the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Dish Network. This Tuesday, Coach K's resurgent Blue Devils battle the Wisconsin Badgers. And Wednesday, Tyler Hansbrough and the top-ranked Tar Heels take on a young Ohio State team.
That is a crowd pleaser.
Every game factors in. College basketball on ESPN. The bracket beyond the bracket.
Call today for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express and start earning double miles in more places more often. Apply now and get up to 17,500 bonus miles. With award tickets starting at just 25,000 miles, you can fly free sooner. Plus, the card is fee-free the first year. Call 1-800-SKY-MILES. Call now for the Gold Delta Sky Miles credit card and earn 2 miles for every eligible dollar you spend for even faster travel awards on Delta and 15 airline partners. Take advantage of this great offer today and get 17,500 miles closer to a free trip. Plus, enjoy the card fee-free the first year. Apply online or call 1-800-SKY-MILES now.
Week on Countdown, the early holiday gift that Belichick gave his players to keep them humble. And we sit down with Michael Strahan to talk about going from near retirement to continuing to be one of the best. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Boston is a city so steeped in history. That is Paul Revere, the famous midnight ride when he cried out, "The British are coming."
1 if I land, 2 if I see.
Was that him too?
Was that him?
We would do so badly.
It's been so long.
Paul Revere near the Boston College campus in a scoreless game as Deron Thomas gets his first carry of the day and picks up 3 yards for this Miami offense that has really been anemic this season. Brady Smith with the tackle. What is at stake for Randy Shannon's club? Well, a whole lot as they try to become bowl eligible for the 10th straight season. And they have really had terrific success over the past several years. The last first-year head coach with the losing record, you got to go all the way back to pre-success times when Howard Schnellenberger came in and started to turn things around.
Yeah, got him on the map.
2nd and 8 now for the Hurricanes. Wright throws it out to Sam Shields, and Shields is close to a Hurricane first down as we go back for another update in Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, Pittsburgh has improved in the latter part of the season against South Florida. The sensational freshman running back, LaShawn McCoy, going in from short distance, and the Panthers still with hopes of playing spoiler in the Big East, if not wrecking things totally for teams, jumping on top of South Florida by a count of 7-0. And Virginia Tech has added a field goal. They're up 10 on the Cavs.
Thank you, Reese. Virginia living dangerously so often this year, setting a new NCAA record for the most wins by 2 points or less.
Yeah, they've been right down to the end in most of their ball games.
And they were down 10-0, and on a 3rd and short, easy first down for Thomas, who was able to pick up 5 yards. Thomas really the 3rd tailback on this team that features Greg Cooper and Javaris James. That's Miami's first down of the season. Now we have 3 teams in the ACC with 5 wins. Maryland and NC State playing each other. So somebody's going to knock the other guy out. And Miami needs to win today in order to get to be 6-6 and be bowl eligible. But again, that would make it 9 bowl eligible teams should Miami win for only 8 guaranteed spots for the ACC.
Boy, but just not to have a losing season too would be huge.
First down from the 36 as Thomas is taken down by Jolon Dunbar after a 1-yard gain. Dunbar, the senior from Syracuse. His mom actually has worked at Syracuse for most of his life, and he was recruited here as a running back, and it didn't take long for him to realize he needed to switch over.
All right, the coaches start saying, "Here, kitty, kitty," to him, and that's what they say. You know, if a defensive coach wants a guy that's playing offense as a freshman to switch over there, that's what they say to him around here. Coach Spaziani, "Here, kitty, kitty," to Jolon Dunbar, turned him into a heck of a linebacker.
Jolon says he'd never been so happy to hear somebody say, "Hey, kitty, kitty," to him. That has really worked out. Javaris James, Edgerrin's cousin, picks up 6. For more on Dunbar, let's go down to Rob Simmelkamp.
Well, Pam, I spoke to him before the game. First of all, just a very nice kid. Had a nice chat talking to him, and he's not expected to play a lot today. He's got a high ankle sprain that he said it's just been nagging him, and on a cold day like today, it was a little bit tough getting loose this morning. But he's in there, and if he feels good, they'll keep him in there, of course, especially as long as this game stays close.
He only was able to play about 12 plays last week, Rob, but he's a gamer. This is his last home game as a senior, as the first quarter is in the books. We are scoreless on Senior Day at Boston College.
The Rose Bowl game, presented by Citi, New Year's Day at 4:30 Eastern on ABC.
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters.
I feel like yodeling.
It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish. 2 tickets to Stockholm, please?
Whatever your story is, your Citi card can help you write it. Citi, let's get it done.
And Gleason recovers a fumble in the end zone. That's his first career touchdown.
Wait, is that a Dr. Pepper?
Oh, he's going to make the most of this one.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend.
Can you believe this? We might be here all night. Is he really going to do this? Look out.
Only Dr. Pepper has 23 flavors packed into one bold taste. For those who make the most of everything.
College football, play-by-play from every major conference. XM. Get 3 months free when you activate an XM radio by December 31st. Are you on?
I'm Reggie Bush, a pro football player.
I'm Megan, a kid.
I run the 40 in 4.3 seconds.
I can run to the playground in 20.
Thanks to my speed, I can beat 11 guys to the end zone.
Thanks to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, I can beat cancer.
Ooh, well, girl, I can't touch that. Give me 5.
Give thanks to the healthy kids in your life and give to those who are not. Go to stjude.org or shop wherever you see our magnifying glass.
Whew, that's big.
Look, there's a moose. Give me a noose. I'm lost again. Where's Highway 10? This isn't good. Bad neighborhood. Went to buy a wreath. He's got no teeth. Ding dong. I miss my chun. I'm gonna burn. Wife's gonna freak. Future is bleak. Nothing that's right is really bites. Where's Highway 10? There's a moose again. Give a garment. Give a garment. Screen clear and wide. Whole world inside. Garment.com.
Second quarter about to get underway. Boston College and Miami are scoreless. BC having the ball for more time and also getting many more yards, but really hurt badly by 4 penalties on one drive. It knocked them back after a 1st and goal at the 9. And on 3rd and 3, a completion to Kane Farquharson, the junior from Homestead, picked up 8. Farquharson did not play in high school. Was actually found playing a sort of flag football by another Miami player, and they brought him in, and he is now getting some significant time with the Hurricanes.
Yeah, and he was the recipient of an outstanding Kyle Wright throw on that last one from the far hash. Threw it on an out route to the outside on the other side. That's a heck of a throw. Big arm from Kyle Wright.
Wright, the senior from Danville, California, capping off a career that started with so much promise. The #1 rated quarterback coming out of high school. And now he will make something happen by running for the Miami 1st down all the way down to the 37-yard line. Roderick Rollins stopped him, but that's 12 yards for Wright.
And Wright's not a big scramble guy, but he took advantage of it that time. He had a tight end open in the middle initially, but he wasn't even looking in the middle. He was looking out on the edge. Nothing there, covered well. And then he showed you some fancy dance moves out there in open field.
Kyle Wright has had to go through some adjustments. He's had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. Patrick Nix in his 1st year as Miami's coordinator after spending 3 seasons at Georgia Tech. 1st and 10, pass complete outside to Sam Shields, and Shields picks up 7. So Miami finally starting to move the ball.
They took advantage of the corner playing off about 10 yards from Shields, so Kyle Wright with the big arm zips it out there. And you look, he had an unbelievable start to his career, going 8-1 in the first 9 games. Since then, in the last 20, just 10-10, and you see the different production. But through both of them, he averages about 1 interception per game.
In fact, as a sophomore, he led the ACC with 18 touchdown passes. Actually lost the starting job coming out of fall camp this season as Thomas gets the carry and is stopped about a yard short of the 1st down. Kirby Freeman started the first 2 games for the Hurricanes after beating out Wright in camp, but struggled, did Freeman, in the 51-13 loss to Oklahoma. enter Kyle Wright, and he has started ever since. And there is Kirby, who will be a senior next season.
Yeah, and they're still looking for a quarterback going into next year. When we talked to Patrick Nix, he said that's the one thing we're going to have to find. I don't think that they're counting on Kirby Freeman and being that guy.
3rd and 1. Crowd making some noise. Wright goes down. Kyle Wright, trying to get it on his own, is taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Jerry Willett, who is getting playing time because Alex Albright, who usually starts at defensive left end, broke two bones in his one arm.
Twice, one arm twice.
Two bones in his arm last week against Clemson.
Boy, the big nose guard just pushing through, beats the center, John Rochford, and that's a little bit of a mismatch, I think. And they're going to keep an eye on that. How can Rochford hold up against those big BC defensive tackles and nose guards?
And second time today, Miami's going for it on 4th down. 4th and 4, and they get it. Pass is complete to the true freshman Leonard Hankerson, a 13-yard gain, and it moves the ball all the way down to the 24.
Yeah, nice little scheme there. Kind of a slant arrow look. The inside receiver went out, and that made that void. And the outside receiver comes in, and Hankerson right into that hole in the zone. Watch, you're going to get a bubble route here and a slant there. Turns out perfect. You see the hole that is created, a zone defense from BC. And a nice job by Miami with the scheme, and Kyle Wright throwing it in there again.
Hankerson, his high school position coach in Florida was Chris Carter, who ran some pretty good routes himself over the years in the NFL. Getting to the outside, picking up significant yardage again is Duron Thomas as we go back to Reese Davis.
Pam, big plays on offense. That hasn't been Virginia's strong suit. They ranked 103rd in the nation with only 35 plays of 20 or more yards. And here with a 28-yard touchdown run by Mikel Simpson. 3 of their 6 plays on their 72-yard drive, 20-plus. Hokies' lead has been cut to 10-7 late in the first.
Thank you, Reese. Explosive plays have been a problem for Boston College all year. Right now, you see BC looking at the winner of that game, either Virginia Tech or Virginia. They beat Virginia Tech earlier this year in that exciting comeback on a Thursday night. Darnell Jenkins, 1st and goal for Miami as he is taken out of bounds after a 7-yard gain. Mark Herzlich, who has gotten some high praise from the BC coaches, coming up with a stop. And boy, this is eerily reminiscent of what happened last year. These two teams met on Thanksgiving Day, and Miami needed a win to be bowl eligible, and they came down in Miami and they beat Boston College 17-14.
Yeah, same exact setup as last year. Miami 5-6, needing a win to get in. Boston College 9-2, not so much needing that win. And, you know, here it is, the same situation this year. And Miami still has that hex on BC.
On the 14th play of the drive, Wright delivers it low to his intended receiver, Duron Thomas, out of the backfield. And all the BC players and coaches that we talked to yesterday talking about, because some has been made about how this game really means, quote unquote, nothing to Boston College. You've got the ACC championship game bid already locked up. They don't need to win this game, but they disagreed with that.
Yeah, they found a whole bunch of reasons to win. They want to get the 10-win season, help solidify their bowl position. They want to break the Miami hex. They want to keep things going. They want to send their seniors out with a victory here at home.
But no score so far. And on 2nd down, good one-handed grab by Thomas. Should be a 1st down. Or excuse me, inside the 5-yard line. As it will be 3rd and goal. And here's what is at stake, as you were talking about, Ray.
Yeah, and that's the list that they kind of manufactured. And, you know, I talked to some longtime BC fans and people that have followed this program for a long time, and they said this is the game that they usually lose. In fact, our producer, Jonathan Lebovich, followed this team a long time. He said, I don't know. This is the kind they seem to drop.
And on 3rd and goal, right towards the end zone, and it is knocked away as there were 3 players around Leonard Hankerson right at the goal line. So it's 4th and goal from the 5, and they've gone for it on 2 other 4th down occasions in this game.
And the way this game is shaping up right now, you got to get your points.
And they indeed will send out Francesco Zamponia. He has only kicked or attempted 14 field goals all year and has made 9 of them. This one from 23 yards away.
Yeah, 6th-year kicker. You don't see that very often.
And it hits the upright and clanks off. Zamponia from 23 yards out can't hit it. In the first quarter, that same end of the field, Apanavic's miss from 31. A 7.5-minute drive ends up with the clank.
Boy, what a drive they had, too. Got it down there. But Zamponia tried for the bank, got the clank, and Coach Jags excited that it's still 0-0.
We're here today.
Still scoreless here. Matt Ryan has had one heck of a senior season. 4 400-yard games, one of his many school records. 2 touchdowns shy of Doug Flutie's season touchdown pass records. Over 3,500 yards. And again, those are season numbers for Ryan, but he and his offense off to a slow start. Completes that one for about an 8-yard gain to Andre Callender with Tavares Gooden, a linebacker, on the coverage. So Matt Ryan prominently mentioned as a Heisman candidate as we compare his numbers from this year to last, with significant improvements.
Yeah, the touchdown to interception ratio has really gone up, and the completion percentage right there hanging around 60%. But we haven't really seen Matt do a whole lot here today. The one good drive they did have, the penalties kind of spoiled that one.
Now 2nd and 2 after Callender's catch, and that pass intended for Ryan Purvis, their junior tight end, and they can't quite connect. And Doug Flutie won the Heisman Trophy. And let's take a look at their season comparison statistics from the season in which Flutie brought home the hardware, and those numbers are about as close as they can get.
Yeah, fairly identical. You know, the only maybe aberration is the 14 picks from Matt Ryan, which a lot of those have come here later in the year. In fact, the picks and the sacks have hurt this football team the last month.
Got off to that 8-0 start as a first down completion to Rich Gunnell, who caught the game winner last week at Clemson, picks up 5. Doug Flutie winning that Heisman Trophy in 1984, the year and the game, the last time that Boston College beat Miami, is shocking to think about.
When I first read those game notes and saw that, I said, that can't be right. Are you kidding me? But that's when it was. 15 games over 23 years.
Boston College trying to break that skid today as Callender is able to tiptoe his way for a 4-yard gain. We go back to Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, we've been keeping a close eye on Virginia and Virginia Tech. You saw Cavaliers get in the end zone a moment ago, but Sean Glennon answered with a deep pass to Eddie Royal, set up a Hokie field goal. Hokie's been going back and forth with their quarterbacks, Glenn and Tyrod Taylor. Glennon leading that field goal drive 13-7 to score.
Yeah, it used to be when you had 2 quarterbacks, you didn't have any.
Right.
I think it's working out for a lot of people now. A lot of people going to that 2-quarterback system.
Oh, that's a perfectly thrown pass to Ryan Purvis. Matt Ryan just put it right where it needed to be. A big 32-yard gain.
Boy, perfect throw. You said it, Pam. Dropped it right over the top. Purvis just ran a straight arrow route where the tight end just goes from the line and sprints right to the edge, to the corner on an angle, and they got it over top of the linebacker, McCarthy. That's a perfect throw just over the outstretched arm, and then Purvis ain't too bad running after the catch for a big guy. I think he's going to be a heck of an NFL tight end because he's an outstanding receiver, and Purvis has the bulk to block you as well.
Good size at 6'4", 250, 48 catches on the season. First down at the 30. Time for Ryan, double pumps, and then it's off the hands of Kevin Challenger, the senior from Montreal. Been playing on a bum ankle, got that nicked up a little bit last week.
And Tavares Gooden, drawing the coverage once again, did another nice job. And that's going to be a key thing throughout the course of this afternoon, the Miami's linebackers' ability to match up in coverage. So far, we've seen Gooden do a pretty good job on the Boston College receivers or even running backs, tight ends, people that he has to cover.
Boy, and Ryan can throw to so many different guys and does, which just makes it more difficult. 2nd and 10 now. Empty backfield. Over the middle, and it is complete for the first down. Clarence Megwa breaking free, and Boston College has it 1st and goal after a 22-yard hookup.
Boy, and what a job of Megwa getting off the press to create the separation early. You're going to see right there, he's got the angle, but when he beat the press, Gooden was out there pressing him. Excuse me, Bruce Johnson wasn't, and he just beat him with an inside move, and that gave a perfect throwing lane for Matt Ryan.
Megwa is not one of the little fast guys that Steve Logan refers to. He is good size, over 6'1", and they like his future. Ryan throwing, touchdown Eagles. L.V. Whitworth with the score. And now Matt Ryan is 1 behind the season touchdown record held by Doug Flutie, as he has just thrown his 26th touchdown pass of the season.
Yeah, none easier than that one. A nice little pick route. Whitworth snuck out of the backfield, nobody near him.
And Apanavicius adds the extra point.
He's 1 behind Doug Flutie is Matt Ryan. He's got his fullback running straight to the edge. Matt Ryan throws the perfect pass. Nice scheme. Boston College gets on the board, and there's a happy quarterback, Matt Ryan.
We're here today.
That's very famous Quincy Market in downtown Boston. Construction started in 1824, and oh, there's your chowder.
Yeah, I've had 3 of the best bowls of chowder in the last 2 days that I've ever had. This is the place.
Boston certainly is. Boston College, the place for Matt Ryan, who has just thrown a touchdown pass, capping off an 80-yard drive, 8 plays. It only took him 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Ryan 5 for 7 on the drive, capped off with an 8-yard touchdown pass to L.V. Whitworth.
You think they'll have more chowder at halftime for me?
I know you're going to go looking for it. Apanavicius kickoff taken by Ryan Hill at the 14, and Hill is dragged down from behind just past the 21-yard line. An 8-yard return. Robert Francois, backup linebacker, making the stop.
There's the drive summary. Whitworth with the 8-yard touchdown grab. Matt Ryan leading his team down the field. The difference between that drive and the early one, no penalties. Didn't stop themselves.
No, they were just killed on that one drive. They got the ball. They had it 1st down and goal at the 9, and then 4 penalties on one drive. And Apanavicius eventually missed a 31-yard field goal, so they came away empty.
Greg Cooper checks into the game for the first time.
First time we've seen that talented true freshman running back as Wright rolls out, nowhere to go, and then breaking free. Good patience by Wright. Sam Shields able to find the seam and pick up a 1st down with a 17-yard catch.
Yeah, a lot of times if your quarterback is getting pressure on him, you like to roll him out, and that creates plenty of time. And they were able to do that. Little play action to Cooper to kind of sell that thing and set up Kyle Wright for his rollout to the right.
There's Cooper, best player coming out of Memphis, or the finesse back.
The lightning guy, right?
Oh, yeah, the lightning guy, and DeVaris James, more of the power runner.
Thunder.
Cooper been dealing with a sprained knee as Boston College player DeLeon Gauze, the true freshman from Miami, the cornerback, helped off the field.
And he was replacing DeJuan Tribble, so they're going to have to go to that 3rd deep. Probably Roderick Rollins, number 20, would be the guy to come in and take that next spot.
Yep, Tribble, the senior from Cincinnati, out with a hurt knee. Coach Jagosinski hopeful he can play next week against Jacksonville. Fumbled snap.
Still out.
And covered up by Miami. Very fortunate for the Hurricanes as Wright never got his hands on the ball, or at least cleanly. Rochford, the center, was able to fall on it eventually for Miami.
Yeah, and Jamie Silva had a chance to pick it up, and he bobbled it back to him.
And this turnovers have really hurt Miami. They, coming into this game, 101st in the country, -8 in turnovers. Jamie Silva, by the way, wearing number 31 today, not his customary 44. In honor of a former player. As Cooper is written out of bounds. It looks like he lost about a half yard.
Yeah, more on that, Jamie. Never mind. We'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, let's go to Reese Davis first.
I'll be quick, guys. Let you get right back into that. Armonte Edwards of Appalachian State in the division I like to call the 1AA playoffs, football championship series, going in against James Madison. They are tied at 7, and UMass on top of Fordham, 14-7 on ESPNU. Now, please continue, Pam.
All right, thanks for your permission, Reese. Jay McGillis is the defensive back, who was number 31, died of leukemia in 1992, and Silva awarded the Jay McGillis Scholarship this year, so he's wearing number 31 in honor of him, as Wright, running for his life, throws it out of bounds. Good pressure by Brady Smith, returning. He started actually last year as a freshman, and now his second year as a starter. And there's Silva wearing number 31. Usually he is number 44. And Jamie is going back to field a punt.
And he is quite a character on this football team, a great leader. He's actually a finalist for the Thorpe Award, so he's already been voted as one of the top 3 defensive backs in the country.
Now waiting for Boscher's punt. Skies that one, but it's short. And takes a Miami roll. And Silva picks it up at the last second. That's vintage Jamie Silva.
And dumpster diving for the football.
A 6-yard return after a 37-yard punt. Miami obviously was content just to let it roll dead, but Silva was having none of that.
Yeah, and this is the kind of player he is. You know, hey, the ball's going to be laying there, and nobody's looking at me. Bam, I'll go get it. There he goes. Quite a character. I mentioned dumpster diving. That's a tradition, family tradition he got from his grandfather, where they'll go in there and dive into the dumpsters and come up with all kinds of treasure.
That is quite a family tradition.
Yeah.
Legacy passed down, and Jamie has his tips and little inside information to be a successful dumpster diver. Very interesting guy. Completed pass for the first down to Rich Gunnell. That's a 15-yard gain for him.
A nice little whip route by Gunnell. He's working on the linebacker Gooden again, so he goes in there and then busts back out, and he's open. But Matt Ryan on that last drive threw some darts around the field, hit his big tight end, Ryan Purvis, throws the pass ball over the middle, that one to Megwa, and then the touchdown on the outside to Whitworth. Nobody else around him, and Matt Ryan showed you there with those 3 throws, the big-time arm that he has.
5 for 7, 76 yards, and the touchdown on that drive as Ryan throws it out of bounds. He was hoping to get the ball to Andre Callender, but Callender was well covered.
Yeah, Calais Campbell came through on a little ET stunt. Forced Ryan out of the pocket. He had to throw it away.
Now, Campbell is a guy whose numbers are down from last year with only 6 sacks, had 10.5 last year, but coaches were saying that he's really facing he's getting, because he's so good and had the numbers, more double teams. He's getting chipped more.
Didn't sneak up on anybody this year, that's for sure. A lot of times he gets that double team.
Very talented junior out of Aurora, Colorado. Ryan with time over the middle has his man short of the first down. However, it is Gunnell who picked up 7. Daryl Sharpton with yet another stop. These linebackers very busy in the pass defense scheme today.
Oh, and they love to throw the football. And you look at today, the play selection. We saw 8 runs, and 4 of those were in that first series. As you see, the offensive coordinator, Steve Logan, upstairs pulling the strings, but he realized what he had in a quarterback. Last year, they were about 50-50 run pass. This year, way slanted towards the pass, just like they are today.
10 of their last 11, now 11 of their last 12 plays have been through the air, and that 3rd and 3 is incomplete. Looking again for Gunnell. Chevis Grant, good coverage. And there's the disparity.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers last year, very close. This year, not quite 2-to-1, but almost in terms of the passing attempts. And when you know you've got a guy back there that can carry you, and Matt Ryan is that guy, Steve Logan, he's no dummy now. He just, you know what? I'm going to give that kid the ball and let him do his own thing. Not only that, he's allowed Ryan to get into calling some of his own plays more and more.
And Ryan, a very cerebral guy.
Yeah, he said his football IQ was off the charts.
Johnny Ayers to punt it. Chevis Grant waiting for it. And it just trickles into the end zone.
And he lost where the ball was.
Grant did a good job with the fake, like he was about to catch it, or at least fair catch it. So Miami will take over at the 20. Kyle Wright, the senior, could he be playing in his last college game? He's down 7-0. Boston known for a great television series, Cheers, and the bar on which the sitcom is based. And we are just a few miles west of Boston in Chesnut Hill, the campus of BC at Alumni Stadium. Duron Thomas, who's been getting quite a few carries, picks up a couple before Nick Larkin makes the stop. So Kyle Wright, the senior quarterback for Miami. More on him from Rob Simmelcare.
Well, Pan, as if it's not cold enough for these Hurricanes here at Boston College today, Kyle Wright has a cut on the back of his throwing hand, his right hand. It doesn't seem to be bothering him too much, but he's keeping the hands in that hand warmer. We saw him fumble that snap last series, so don't know if it's bothering him, but it's certainly adding to the conditions for him.
Of course, these guys are used to playing in ideal conditions, at least warm conditions. Good breakaway for the first down. Duron Thomas gets 10 yards, and we get back to Reese Davis.
Pam, for the first time since 2004, Virginia has a lead on Virginia Tech. Jameel Sewell going in. That Hokie defense had allowed just 3 first-half touchdowns in the last 9 games. Cavaliers have 2 so far today. It's a 1-point lead on ESPN2.
How about that? Virginia with still some skeptics out there because of their close wins.
Count me among them.
Yeah, and how about that? That would obviously be huge for them, and they will play Boston College. The winner of that game gets Boston College a week from tonight in Jacksonville for the ACC Championship.
Yeah, we talked to Jolan Dunbar and Matt Ryan, tried to get them to commit to which one they wanted to play.
Delay of the game, number 3 of the offense, 5-yard penalty.
And they were too smart for that. They said, we can't get into that, which you don't want to do, because obviously if you say you want to play one, you slight the other, and it's billboard material for the other team.
They did not play Virginia. In fact, have not played them for a couple of years, have never lost to UVA. A thrilling game in which Boston College was outplayed for 58 minutes, no doubt about it. And then they get the touchdown, the onside kick recovery, and a little Matt Ryan magic to win. That
began the legend, and he pulled it off against Clemson. Another late touchdown last week to pull out that win.
Delay of game, Miami's first penalty, and negative yardage for Thomas. Ron Brace, the junior from Springfield, Mass. Leaner than last year. They have a new strength and conditioning coach who came in, and he is one who's really benefited from that.
Yeah, and Brace is a beast. I mean, look how big he is in that A gap there. Watch him just plow right through this thing. Beats the down block from the guard. He never had a chance to Derek Morse. And Brace getting up the field with another tackle for loss.
That is his 7th of the season. Number 1 in the NCAA with that rush defense. Wright getting chased down. It's Brace again, but this time Wright's able to get rid of it. And he completes it to Duron Thomas. Tyrone Pruitt makes a stop. That's a 6-yard gain when it looked like Brace was about to pounce on Wright.
A little screen they set up, and so they're going to let Brace get through there. But an excellent job by Tyrone Pruitt, the linebacker, of reading screen quickly, closing in and making a play. Pruitt wasn't really going to play today either. He was another one of those guys that got injured a couple weeks ago and only played a few plays last week. Starter at inside linebacker, getting some chances again today.
Playing on the bad ankle. They were hoping for 15 to 20 plays today. 3rd and 14, and Wright goes down as he is just enveloped by Mark Herzlich, considered to be very special. The coaches really like the way this kid plays, as that's a 7-yard sack for Herzlich.
Yeah, they brought pressure off of both edges at the top of your screen. You're going to see Herzlich. He beats his man and closes down and makes the play. And there was really nowhere for Kyle Wright to go with that football. Great coverage down the sideline. The guy he was looking for was double covered. And by the time he brought it down, Herzlich was there with a little help.
4th and 20, and Boston College takes its first timeout as they are hoping to have enough time to get some more points before the half expires. Let's take a look at today's Athletic Trivia question. We want to know when the last time Boston College beat Miami right here in Boston. 1984 was the last time they beat them, period. That was in the Orange Bowl. That was the Doug Flutie miracle pass to Gerard Phelan in the last play of the game. But when was the last time they won up here?
I got a pretty good idea. I believe I read that this week somewhere along the line.
I'll let the folks at home think about that. These are some hardy fans. I'm telling you, it is cold. These are steel bleachers these folks are sitting on.
It's not bad over on the other side where there's a little sun coming down on you. A little better than that case.
But just a little. A lot of Red Sox paraphernalia celebrating their 2nd World Championship. And
yeah, how about the sports scene in this area? Amazing.
Absolutely. And BC trying to bring home an ACC championship to add to that legacy. Jamie Silva waits for the Bosher punt. There was some pressure, but he got it off. And Silva fields it and is taken down at the 36-yard line. That was a 53-yard punt for Bosher. Boston has had great success in sports.
Fastball, he struck it out swinging, and the Boston Red Sox have won the World Series.
Brady comes up big time, and the Patriots are still undefeated.
Pierce to Garnett. It's not a dream. This is all really happening.
Boston College headed towards midfield. They have beaten the Virginia Tech Hokies.
So winning the Atlantic Coastal Division, or the ACC's Atlantic Division, and trying to go into the championship game with the win today. A great connection. Kevin Challenger into Miami territory as he is taken down by Chevis Grant, but that's 18 yards for the Eagles. For more on the success of this city in sports, let's go down to Rob Simmelcare.
Well, Pam, you know, talking about all the success that they've had here in Boston, we were talking to Matt Ryan about that, and he said it's been helpful to them on a couple of levels as this play takes place here. Ryan thrown out wide, complete, and out of bounds. You know, he said, for one thing, it really takes the pressure off of us. Boston College is not the story in this town. The Red Sox, the Celtics, the Patriots are all getting all the ink, and Boston College is kind of flying under the radar screen. And then also, he watches the way a guy like Tom Brady answers questions about being 10-0, being undefeated, and talking about how that's not the goal for that team. Well, it helps him stay focused on the goal for this Boston College team, that, of course, being an ACC championship.
He says everything will just take care of itself, Rob, one thing at a time. You win games, and everything else will follow. As that was terrific pressure. Tavares Gooden coming in from his middle linebacker spot, and Ryan was able to get rid of it.
Yeah, and Ryan avoiding that blitz, getting rid of the ball. But Matt Ryan gets to call his own plays here in the 2-minute drill, and we talked to Steve Logan, the offensive coordinator, about that, and he said, you know, it took Ryan a while to understand, you know, the focus of a 3-minute drill. He was worried about down and distances. He said the only down and distance you have to worry about is 4th down. And so Matt kind of finally figured it out, and he's really coming into his own in terms of calling these plays here in a 2-minute situation.
As a look at Logan, his first year actually was in NFL Europe for 3 years as an assistant. As that pass is incomplete on 3rd down, we go to Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, coming up on the Pontiac Performance Halftime Report, we're watching very closely the ACC showdown. Winner goes to the championship game between Virginia Tech and Virginia. And this is Lou Holtz's cell phone. With all the coaching vacancies out there, I thought I'd better keep an eye on that. Oh, look, Texas A&M on line 1, Nebraska on line 2, Ole Miss call waiting. We'll also look ahead to the border war of Missouri and Kansas.
All right, Reese, there could be a lot of calls waiting as we expect some more coaching shakedowns. Yes, Bill Callahan was fired earlier today from Nebraska. No surprise after they gave up, what, 65 points yesterday, losing 65-51 to Colorado.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That's a delay of game. No big deal for BC as it just pushes them back 5 yards, gives Air some more room to punt. But
yeah, you think Tom Osborne's going to hire himself back?
Well, I think that might be a good move because they've obviously struggled since he is retired. And Callahan given that extension just earlier this year. So they're on the hook for a whole heck of a lot of money.
Four years worth of salary. So that had to be a tough call, a gut wrencher for Tom Osborne.
And Steve Peterson, the AD who gave him the extension, was fired earlier this year. Grant lets it go, and that will be touchdown inside the 10-yard line. So Miami's going to have to go 89 yards if they want to get a score. 31-yard punt, but well placed. And there are some of the headlines. That huge triple overtime loss for LSU. 2 losses this year, both of them in triple overtime.
Boy, amazing game there. And they kind of been living on the edge, a lot of close games, and it came up and bit them. And then, as we were speaking about, Callahan, Francione gone. Missouri and Kansas coming up tonight. I can't wait to see that one.
And with LSU losing, it's really opened the doors for a lot of other teams for the national championship game. Deron Thomas has been the guy out of the backfield today. Silva chasing him out of bounds after a 5-yard gain. Thomas so far with 8 carries for 22 yards. Javaris James has only 3 carries for 3 yards.
And Greg Cooper's been in there a little bit, a couple plays, one series actually. He didn't get a carry. And, you know, we did a Miami game earlier in the year, and it was all about thunder and lightning and Cooper and James and what a great combination they were in the backfield. And that's what Miami was kind of trying to hang a hat on, but it never really materialized for him.
Thomas with only 25 carries on the season coming in is the feature back today, and this time he gets nothing as Thomas actually loses 4 yards. Kevin Akins making the stop.
Yeah, Akins does a nice job of getting in there and getting the pressure. You're going to see the big guy coming off the edge right here and making the play. Akins got a lot of playing time these last few weeks with the injuries to Pruitt and Dunbar, and he's come in and really showed that he can make a lot of plays.
Junior from Lansdale, Pennsylvania, had an interception last week. That was Boston College's first forced turnover since they played Virginia Tech. So they had gone 2 complete games before that turnover. Coach Jags in his first season coming over from the Green Bay Packers, but was an assistant here at Boston College, and he told his wife when they were leaving to go to the next job, he said to her, you know, we're going to come back someday. He really wanted to come back and work and be the head guy at Boston College, and it's come true.
Yeah, that's, you know, some guys, you know, there's jobs out there that they really want, that they have an affinity towards. And, you know, you talk about Les Miles, and I think he's going to end up at Michigan. You know, he spent time under Bo there, played there, and he'll be in denial. He won't admit it, but I think he's headed up to Ann Arbor.
So BC now with 1 timeout left. 3rd and 9 for Miami. Wright floats it up, has a man out there. It's almost intercepted. Leonard Hankerson was the intended receiver, but fellow true freshman DeLeon Gauze was right there.
Nice play by Gauze, getting his depth and then playing the football. But Kyle Wright, that was a prayer throw. I mean, he's just trying to give Hankerson an opportunity to out-jump somebody and go get the football, because there was no timing at all established on that route. He got away with it. It should have been picked.
Yeah, sorry about that. He's 9 for 15 is right for 76 yards. Bosher with his 4th punt of the day. And that goes and dies just inside the 40. So 1 timeout left in 1:22. That's a lot of time for Matt Ryan, who has really done well in these 2-minute situations. Only a 29-yard punt there for Bosher. Here's now, cue the duck, the Aflac trivia question. When was the last time Boston College beat Miami here in Boston?
1975.
To go way back to 1975.
Yeah, well, Boston College has only beaten Miami 3 times in the whole history of the rivalry.
3-23, and were it not for the Flutie miracle, the losing streak would be at 18, not 15. As they had lost a couple more before that. Miami takes its first time out. Randy Shannon, who was the defensive coordinator under Larry Coker, his first year in charge of the Hurricanes. Coming up later tonight, national title hopes on the line as Chase Daniel in Missouri takes on Todd Reesing and Kansas. Winner goes on to the Big 12 championship game. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Remington at 8 Eastern. College football living right here. Oh, what a game. When these two guys play anyway, Missouri and Kansas, it's a huge deal.
Well, you got the history of the border war and all those things that have happened between those two states. And I don't know who figured out the schedule this year, but they got lucky, or they did a pretty good job, however you want to look at it.
Boy, that's worked out really well. And also Connecticut and West Virginia has worked out very well. West Virginia does have Pittsburgh next week, but whoever wins that game between Connecticut and Virginia later today in Morgantown is the Big East champion. Let's see if Matt Ryan has some more magic up his sleeve. That'll work. Big play. Ryan Purvis, the talented tight end, picks up 27 yards.
Boy, you got a cover two, so that middle linebacker 52 Tavares Gooden has to cover the tight end all the way down the field. You see the safety showing up late, but they got to worry about the outside, so that's tough duty for a middle linebacker. And you saw Purvis was able to get open, and then the perfect throw from Matt Ryan.
Randy Phillips was the safety who made the tackle. 1st and 10 from the 13. Ryan, little pump fake, then goes underneath. It's dropped and then intercepted. That ball should have been caught by Rich Gunnell, but instead Kenny Phillips came up with his 2nd interception of the season. And Gunnell, who was the hero last week, catching the game winner at Clemson, cost him there, cost him another opportunity to score.
Yeah, you're going to get a crossing route here. Ryan's going to, but watch what happens to the defensive end right here. Well, it actually happened prior to that, but he fell down out of his stance. It was kind of humorous to me, but then the ball gets popped up, and Miami on the spot, thwarting a scoring opportunity for Matt Ryan, his 15th pick on the year, but that one wasn't his fault.
Kenny Phillips gets the pick. Kyle Wright actually going to start throwing out of there, and that one is intercepted. A chancy pass anyway, inside a minute from the 12-yard line, and Gauze comes up with the interception, and all of a sudden BC's back in business.
Gauze just making his 2nd career start here this afternoon. Got knocked out of the game a little earlier, but was in position, and that's just not a smart throw from Kyle Wright.
And that's Gauze's 1st career interception. Yeah, a very interesting play call that really could turn out to hurt them. You're on the 12. You only have 1 timeout left, and you throw this up.
They're going to review it, make sure that Gauze made the catch, but from our view, there's no question about it.
He's trying to get Hankerson, who was out there, but Gauze, the true freshman from Miami, who knows some of these Miami players from his high school and
he was
childhood football.
Joking around with Coach Spaziani this week about playing against some of his homeboys. Take a look at this. See if he catches the football. He's got both hands on it. Yeah, that's a catch to me. Had both hands on the ball, arms underneath the ball when he came down on it.
On the field is confirmed. It's an interception.
Charlie Calais, our replay official, got it right. John Collins, his communicator up there, went and talked to those guys before the game, and their claim to fame, they did the 1998 Division I AA championship game up at Marshall. That's the biggest game those fellas ever did together.
Well, the championship game is always so fun to call and to work. And there's your ACC Rookie of the Week. And Gauze off to a good start today with his 1st career interception. And now Ryan throwing it, and it is complete. Clarence Megma beating Tavares Gooden. That's a 21-yard gain. Clock stops with 39 seconds left to go.
Boy, what another nice throw from Matt Ryan, because that's tough coverage. You know, Bruce Johnson had the coverage and he never got his head turned around.
Roughing the passer, 47 of the defense, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
And then Vegas Franklin tacks on half the distance to the goal with a late hit on Matt Ryan. Randy Shannon not happy. You see at the end there, the ball's already gone, and you got to pull off. And Vegas Franklin just stuck his face right into the chest of Matt Ryan. And then the perfect throw, you saw it, Bruce Johnson, just as he got his head around, the ball went by. Get it around quicker.
They're very excited about Megla's future. Ryan taken off, throws it into the end zone, tipped and incomplete. Almost another pick off as McCarthy was down in there on the coverage. Kenny Phillips as well.
Well, they tried to run the exact same play that they scored the first touchdown with, and it was taken away this time. See him looking to the right. He's looking for Callender coming out of the backfield. Nothing there. And this is what, to me, Matty Heisman, Matt Ryan does the best. When he scrambles, he keeps his eyes down the field. He's got such great vision, peripheral vision. He will find the open guy and make a play happen. That's how they beat Clemson last week.
And as the timeout is taken, BC, 21 of its last 22 plays have been passes. Miami actually takes a timeout. Now they are down to one timeout. Boston College still has one with 32 seconds left to go.
Yeah, 8 runs, 28 passes for Boston College here in the first half. They are a throwing football team.
2nd and goal from the 5 is what they are looking at. Tom O'Brien leaving Boston College to go to NC State, brought Dana Bible, his offensive coordinator, with him. Frank Spaziani actually interviewed for the job, did not get it, and stayed on as the defensive coordinator. Says his family loves it here. He loves the school, and it's really worked out well. And the new offensive coordinator is Steve Logan, and he's really changed things up.
Yeah, it's a 180-degree turn from what Dana Bible did. He had a West Coast offense here where everything was regimented. You do this when they do this, you do this, you do this, right down the line, whereas Steve Logan is more of a little throw everything against the wall, see what sticks guy. Lets his quarterback be a playmaker a little more.
It helps to have someone like Matt Ryan that you can do things with. 2nd and goal from the 5. Pressure coming. Ryan finds his man. Touchdown, Boston College. Kevin Challenger with the score.
That same slant arrow combination.
A couple of fifth-year seniors, both of them with their undergraduate degrees. Matt Ryan to Kevin Challenger, and Kyle Wright's ill-conceived interception comes back to bite him.
You're right. That really hurt Miami. Not a very smart way to end that first half. They got the takeaway, thwarted the initial scoring attempt from BC, but then gave it right back.
Aponovich just makes it 14-0. Matt Ryan has now tied Doug Flutie, excuse me, with 27 touchdowns this season, tying the Boston College record, as this time he found Challenger 14-zip. Welcome back. That kick going into the end zone after Boston College has scored on its second Matt Ryan touchdown pass. So Miami takes over with 24 seconds left to go. One timeout on the 20. Do we think they don't throw it downfield this time?
Yeah. I didn't think they should have thrown it down the field last time. You know, grind it out. If you got to punt, you know, punt it, but don't take a chance and allow something really bad to happen. Even though you're going to pull out all the stops today, that wasn't one that you needed to pull out.
This time it's a handoff and a loss as Duron Thomas goes down courtesy of Mike McLaughlin, the linebacker, getting some time now with Dunbar nursing an injury. He loses 5 yards, and that should do it for the first half. Boston College has lost 15 straight games to the University of Miami. Last time they beat them was Doug Flutie's miracle throw 23 years ago. Matt Ryan with 2 more touchdown passes, tying Flutie's all-time season record at BC. They go into the locker room up 14-0. Rob Simmelcare standing by with Coach Jagosinski.
All right, Coach Jags, a couple of turnovers, a missed field goal, but you're still up 14-0 at halftime. What's your take on that half?
Well, I tell you what, if we do a better job in the red zone, we should have 28 points on the board right now. But our defense is playing good. It was a big turnover we just got there at the end, and Matt got us in.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. See you in the second half.
Thank you, Rob. So Boston College goes in with a 14-0 lead over its nemesis Miami as we head back to the studio and Reese Davis. touchdown passes. BC trying to beat the Hurricanes for the first time since 1984. That was the miracle throw, Doug Flutie in the Hail Mary, and they're halfway to doing it. Miami is leading in the time of possession, but have not scored. Pam Ward along with Ray Bentley, and really Miami's offense has not done a whole heck of a lot.
No, they haven't, and the big mistake came right before half when, I don't know, for whatever reason, they decided to try and throw the football. It got intercepted by Gauze, and that led to that touchdown to make it 14-0 right before the half.
Matt Ryan, another spectacular half of work for him as he threw for 232 yards, has a couple of touchdowns, and it is senior day at Chesnut Hill. Matt, one of 22 seniors playing their final game at home. Darnell Jenkins takes the kickoff from Apanavicius and gets hit down hard at the 25-yard line. That's an 18-yard gain, but Mark Herzlich, who will hit anything that moves, makes the stop. And let's look at Matt Ryan's senior day.
Well, there he is, giving the flowers to his mother to start things out. His mother, Bernice, his father, Michael, here today to help honor him, and he's honored himself with a number of wonderful throws. That one down the sideline to Megla, and that last touchdown pass into Callender. And Matt Ryan has kind of been sneaky good here in the first half. 230-plus yards, his longest throw, 33.
Kyle Wright, the Miami quarterback, gets hit down from Mike McLaughlin after a 4-yard gain, and you take a look at the comparisons with Ryan throwing at will and Wright struggling. That one interception just was really a killer that led directly to the second touchdown of the game for BC. Wright, also a senior, hoping he's not playing his final game. Miami needs to win this game to be bowl eligible. Greg Cooper gets the carry, and Cooper gets the first down. Some unusual success with the running game today as he picks up 13 yards.
Boy, he showed you the acceleration that he has, because he saw a little bit of an opening outside, hit the gas pedal, and beat the pursuit around the edge.
Cooper's numbers on the season, and the coaching staff concerned. He is a true freshman and saying that he's showing some of the wear down. They want him to get into the weight room this offseason, get himself strengthened up a little bit, because he's letting the wear and tear of the season get to him. Of course, he was playing high school. His season would have been long over by now.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing for a true freshman at the end of the year.
And there's more escapability for Cooper. Akins with the stop after a 5-yard carry. Let's go down to Rob Simmelcare.
All right, Pam, I spoke to Randy Shannon coming out of the locker room, asked him specifically about that interception at the end of the second quarter, and he said, you know, we're in a position where we've got to make plays to win football games. They're trying to make a play down there late. Obviously, it led to the turnover. Said there's nothing we can do about that now. We've got to come out and play a strong second half.
But they were all the way down close to their 10-yard line with only 2 timeouts left to go and only down 7-0. It was a calculated risk at best, and it came back to haunt him as that pass skips off the hands of one receiver into the other. Darnell Jenkins with the tip, but it falls incomplete.
Well, they got 2 drops on one play.
This Miami offense, Ray, really has been struggling this season as they are in the bottom hundreds of several categories, including points per game, 100th in the country at that, 109th in passing yards per game, 108th total yards per game. Really a struggle in Randy Shannon's first year.
Yeah, and Patrick Nix, the offensive coordinator, just hasn't been able to find, really who they are. They haven't really just, figured out who they are. So you can't say they are who we thought they were.
3rd and 5, another drop. Sam Shields unable to bring that in. And boy, the Miami known for some great wide receivers in its history, and they're still looking among this crew for the guy.
Yeah, and they've got some youth. They've got some younger guys that they think can get better. Hankerson's a freshman, and Sam Shields a sophomore, Ryan Hill a sophomore. But those are the guys who really have been inconsistent throughout the year. The whole receiving corps has. That's been a huge problem for the Hurricanes.
Bosher with a bouncer again. Silva picks it up.
Oh, he saved him. Because that one hit another BC guy, and Silva saved the bacon by picking it up. And we'll get a look at Matt Ryan coming out with a 14-zip lead.
He drops straight back, has some time. Now he scrambles away from one hit. Looks, a deep one for the end zone. Phelan is down there. Oh, he got it! He got it! He got it! Flutie did it! He got Phelan in the end zone! Touchdown!
23 years ago, almost to the day, since Boston College last beat Miami. Since then, they have run off 15 straight victories against the Eagles, and Miami has so much to play for today as well. They want to try to clinch bowl eligibility. Right now, they are trailing Boston College 14-0. And there's the guy, our colleague now at ESPN. And congratulations to Doug, also going into the College Football Hall of Fame on his first year of eligibility. Will be inducted December the 4th in New York City. As we just saw a rarity, a Boston College carry. Andre Callender got a handoff.
Well, they finished the first half with 17 consecutive passing plays. Now, two of those drives were 2 minutes, so you kind of figure they're going to throw the ball there. But they do rely on the arm of one Matt Ryan, and rightly so.
Callender only picked up 1 yard on that last carry. Now a 2nd and 9 for the Eagles. Blitz coming. Ryan gets it off, and it's picked off. Second pick of the day for Matt. Glenn Sharp gets it for Miami, and they have very good field position around the 22.
Boy, Sharp played that about as well as you can. Had press technique against Megwa. He got the hands on him and then worked inside, and not a good throw from Matt Ryan. Going to be on the right side of your screen. He's going to come in there, and you see he basically ran the route. The key was the jam that he got on Megwa, and Matt Ryan knows he made a little mistake there.
It's a third turnover of the day for Boston College. 1 fumble and now 2 interceptions thrown by Matt Ryan. First down, right with time, going in the corner of the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. The ball was underthrown, but Ryan Hill was able to adjust and make the catch. DeLeon Gauze, the true freshman, was on Hill, who gets his 2nd touchdown of the season.
And that was good fortune for Miami, and that's what happens when you throw it up enough times. Your guy's going to eventually make a play, and the young freshman Gauze never got his head around to find the football. Hill did.
Zamponia in for the extra point, and just like that, the lead is cut in half after the Ryan pick.
Kyle Wright sitting back there in the pocket, making the nice throw to the corner, get his receiver to make a chance, and bam, they bring it in. We got a ball game.
Hey, what's
Very early here in the third quarter, a 14-7 now Boston College lead. Miami scoring on a touchdown pass, 23 yards, just actually the first play after Matt Ryan threw his 2nd interception of the season, of the game rather.
Yeah, tried to force this slant route in and let his receiver too much. He took that one on himself. That was a mistake by him. That's a turf pounder right there. And then the response from Miami, Kyle Wright throwing it up to Ryan Hill. Gauze not able to get around and find the football, and bam, it's 14-7, the Hurricanes with a little hope.
Glenn Sharp was the one who came up with the interception. 1 play later, Wright found Hill for the score.
Yeah, Ryan just wants to make it close so he can have a comeback.
There you go. Rich Gunnell fields the kickoff and takes it up close to the 28-yard line. Let's go down to Rob Simmelcare. Rob.
Well, you know, it's a cold day for these Hurricanes up here, but it just got a lot warmer on the Miami sideline as they came back from that quick turnover and then touchdown, and this bench is charged up right now, and they're all standing and all feeling a lot more comfortable, I think, than they were at halftime.
And Miami's a big vibe team, Rob. When things go well, they get it going. When things don't go well, you see them kind of get that hangdog look a little bit sometimes. But they can get some momentum and play and feed off of that, and it gives them a chance.
Now Matt Ryan first throw, or first play as it turns out after the interception as he hangs onto it. Tavares Gooden makes the stop as we go back to Reese Davis.
Pam, every week we honor the AT&T ESPN All-America Player of the Week, and we ask you to participate. All you have to do, text the word VOTE, 87654 on your AT&T wireless phone. You can access the nominees, cast your vote. We announce the winner on Thursday nights, and you can register for a chance to win a trip to the national championship game. Who will be there, I have no idea.
That's the golden question, isn't it, Reese? As Calendar falls forward for the first down. Everything really thrown into disarray again with LSU losing in triple overtime yesterday. Missouri and Kansas, whoever loses that is going to be knocked out of the national title picture.
Yeah, 12 times this year, a top 10 team has been beaten by an unranked team, and we saw it again with Arkansas knocking off Les Miles' LSU Tigers.
West Virginia playing UConn later today for the Big East Championship. So West Virginia now looking pretty good if they can win. Another running play and just getting a couple of more yards is Andre Calendar. And, of course, West Virginia finishes up with Pittsburgh. Pitt is playing much better later on in the season. In fact, leading South Florida at the half. At least the last time we checked, they were up in that game. So crazy college football season, and boy, oh boy, does this show we need a playoff.
Yeah, I think you're right. And, you know, when all the smoke clears at the end of this year.
How do you discern who are the two most deserving teams? You can't. And for it to be designated by other than deciding it on the field is ridiculous.
Get it done on the field. That's the key.
Pass complete. On second down, it's going to be third coming up as Gunnell catches it for 4. Let's take a look at the BCS standings. They will be shaken up at least a tad bit because of what happened. Arizona State losing, and yeah, get LSU right out of there.
Yeah, and that gives Kansas and Missouri, the winner of that game tonight, it's going to be number 1 or number 2 come Monday or Sunday night.
And those Buckeye fans sitting at home, they could get in there. Let's say West Virginia loses either today or next week, and just by being idle, they could be sitting perhaps in the best position of all.
Safest opponent this year is idle.
Yes, and that's just not a good formula. As Ryan runs for the first down, Sharpton making the stop as Matt picked up 6. Boston College already assured of playing in the ACC championship game next week. The question is, who will they play? Virginia and Virginia Tech are playing right now in Blacksburg, or in Charlottesville, excuse me, to decide who the opponent will be.
And that should be a heck of a ball game. Boston College already went against Virginia Tech this year. We talked about that a little bit, Pam, and the amazing comeback to steal that game 14-10 on their last 2 drives. Matt Ryan throws touchdown passes.
Play action. Ryan loses the ball. They're saying it's incomplete, that his arm was indeed moving forward. Calais Campbell coming up with the big-time pressure. There he is, number 81.
Yeah, Campbell just an inside kind of a bull rush, power rush. Got in there and slapped that. You see him, here he comes, and he gets away from that hold a little bit. It wasn't called, but he got there just as the ball was being released. Good call by the official. That arm was coming forward.
Brings up 2nd and 10 now for BC, up 14-7.
You see the sack problems that this offensive line has had in the last couple of games, matching the sack total in the first 9 games of the year.
Sacked 5 times last week against Clemson. Maryland got him 4 times the week before in an improbable loss. His calendar wasn't even looking for that one. Let's go back to Reese Davis.
Pam, Tennessee has beaten Kentucky 22 times in a row. Make it 23, and the Vols go to the SEC championship game. Eric Ainge to Lucas Taylor, and I'll tell you what, the Cats are in the empty elevator shaft, and the Vols are up 14-0.
Thank you, Reese. Being in an empty elevator shaft, not a good thing. So they got their winning streak even higher than Randy Shannon's alma mater. Shannon was a linebacker at Miami and then became a grad assistant, eventually an assistant and head coach. They'd beaten BC 15 straight times. Ryan lays up another one. Megwa got a hand on it but could not bring it in. Bruce Johnson on the coverage.
That should have been caught. Megwa's got to stick his arms all the way out. Kind of had the short arm deal on that. Alligator arms, they call it, because this is a perfect throw. You see the room to the outside, and that's where Ryan throws it. And boy, Megwa, stick your arms all the way out. Like he shortened it a little bit.
Johnson hitting him right when the ball arrived. Good coverage.
He was swatting at him a little early, too.
Got away with it, so Megwa sits down, and now Darnell Jenkins awaits the Johnny Ayers punt. Ayers on the BC baseball team pops that one up. Is taken just past the 10-yard line by Jenkins. And Miami starts at the 22 after a 31-yard punt and 8-yard return. So Randy Shannon is well entrenched at the University of Miami, playing there from 1985 to 1988. Was really a gritty, kind of overachieving linebacker, and then a graduate assistant in '91. Became eventually the linebackers coach, and then defensive coordinator under Larry Coker. And this is his very first season in charge, and it has been a roller coaster ride. And with the win today, 6-6 as flags come down and bowl eligible.
Yeah, we talked to Randy.
Before the snap, false start, 61 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And I asked him about the learning, you know, what things did he learn? He said, you know, just to always evaluate, you know, continually evaluate not only your standards, but what you're doing, how you're getting things done, how people are adapting to what you want them to get done. Just a continual evaluation and improving, and there is no quit in that dog right there. He will give you everything he has all day long.
And that is really his mantra for this team, as Shields picks up 6 after the 5-yard penalty. Rob Simmelcare has more on Randy Shannon. Rob.
Well, you know, Shannon comes with such a compelling personal story. Of course, his father was murdered when he was a young boy. He's had 3 siblings pass away from tragic circumstances, a brother who's stolen his identity. Really just an unbelievable personal story, and he's brought a lot of that story to his job as a head coach here at Miami, imposing rules for these players to live by and to keep them out of trouble. We'll talk a little bit more about those in a second.
Really is an incredible story of perseverance as Kyle Wright lunging forward close to the first down. Jolon Dunbar makes the stop as we go back down to Rob.
You know, Miami has had so many problems off the field, players killed and involved in legal troubles, and so he set some rules for the start of this season. For one thing, any student involved in any incident past midnight, even if it's just a minor incident, automatic 1-game suspension. Any firearm of any kind, automatic suspension from the team. Any theft of any kind, automatically expelled from the team. So he is running a very tight ship, and he can do that because of who he is.
The players respect him. They know that he's been through a lot as Wright sneaks forward for the first down. Silva making the stop.
You see Randy Shannon, some of the things that he's been able to accomplish. 3-time national champion at the University of Miami. You know, he was their defensive coordinator. It's on a national championship team. So Randy, he knows what it takes to win and to get it done. And he just got to get everyone else to buy in and reach that same level of commitment that he brings, because they have the talent and they are able to recruit down there.
They're very excited about the recruiting class coming in, as Wright can't connect with Darnell Jenkins.
Yeah, that'll be, I think, the true test, and I think that's where Randy Shannon is going to succeed in terms of just the recruiting and his ability to go into a home, and people know what he's been through now. He's been exposed enough to that, and you know, he said the one thing that maybe we don't know about him or people don't know about him, but he's a real down-to-earth guy, and when he goes in to recruit, he likes to let people get to know him a little bit. He's very good at sitting in that living room and mixing well with mom and dad.
Now 2nd and 10 for his team, and that pass should have been caught as Leonard Hankerson, the true freshman, can't bring it in. University of Miami has had a very proud tradition in college football since Howard Schnellenberger came in and kind of got the train back on the right track. 3 national championships in the 80s, 1 in the 90s. They won in 2001, Larry Coker's first year. So just incredible resumes for this program, and if they don't win today, they will not be bowl eligible for the first time in 10 seasons. It's just a given that they get to a bowl every year. Plus, 3rd and 10. Wright has a man wide open out in the flat, and another drop. This time it's Greg Cooper. And they might be looking back into the sun, but there have been 5 drops this half for Miami, 7 for the game.
Boy, and that's been the Achilles heel. Even though they've had breakdowns throughout the offense, the biggest one is the receivers and dropping balls, just like this one you see right here. And there's just, there's no excuse for that. Guys have to catch the football. I know they work on it. I know they're trying, but that's really, they got to fix that before they can move on.
Wright didn't help him by delivering it high, but definitely should have been caught as Silva actually makes a fair catch. Jamie Silva, the Thorpe finalist for best defensive back in the country. Matt Ryan coming back out for Boston College. They only lead by a touchdown.
ESPN's College Football, brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And ESPN Game Plan. Today, catch 2 great matchups, Oregon at UCLA and Georgia at Georgia Tech. To order, call your pay-per-view provider.
The football facilities building, Doug Flutie, as you might expect, has a prominent display for all that he did. And going on to win the Heisman Trophy in 1984, highlighted by that pass to Gerard Phelan that beat Miami. That's the last time Boston College has been able to do that. Now Matt Ryan off to a shaky start in the second half, hands it off to L.V. Whitworth, and he is just taken down by Calais Campbell as soon as he touched the ball.
You talk about Doug Flutie and his Heisman, and look at the career stats, the numbers between Flutie and Matt Ryan, and you can see Ryan a little bit pretty favorable compared to Doug Flutie's numbers.
Flutie with more passing yards than Ryan, who has not started his entire time. And some folks here cheering on for Matt to get the Heisman Trophy, another fairly wide open race.
Still got a chance. He's got this game and then that ACC championship game next week before the voting.
Oh boy, big hit on Rich Gunnell after a 6-yard gain, and we go back to Reese Davis for another update.
Football championship subdivision playoffs. James Madison, Appalachian State. Ever seen this play? Think coaches don't watch tape? The same play that LSU ran against South Carolina. Joe Klusner flipped it to Dave Standard, and the kicker got in. And James Madison up by 1 on App State. It's late in the third. And Fordham is hanging with UMass. Bit of a surprise there, 35-28 early in the third.
Thank you, Reese. That's one of the niftiest plays you'll ever want to see on a fake kick. And yeah, UMass playing that game not far from here in Amherst, as that pass is completed close to the first down to Clarence Megwa. Megwa catching it in front of Randy Phillips. Spot very important here.
Yeah, that'll be the key where they mark this thing. He's going to have to get to the 40, I believe, for the first down, and that nose of that ball is just shy. They're going to bring the chains out and measure this one up. Pretty big hit by Randy Phillips, coming up and stopping the runner right in his tracks. There's a dump off over the middle, and Phillips comes up, but look where he catches that ball. You can see right there, just in front of the 40, was Megwa, and he's going to be just shy of that first down. This is one where you have to punt the football, in my opinion.
And they will. 4th and that much to go.
Well, Matt Ryan's staying out there.
Right, Matt Ryan is out there.
Well, I
wholesale
think
changes, but not Ryan for the punter, because you don't like this call.
Maybe you try and get him to draw him off sides, do that whole number. That wouldn't be a bad deal to try, but to go for this in your own territory, nursing a 7-point lead with a lot of time left, I don't think that's very smart. You get it, you're a genius, I suppose, but if you don't, not very smart.
I'll be surprised if they snap it too. I think we're going to look at this hard count. Matt Ryan very smart.
Got McCluskey in there at fullback.
And they do snap it, and they do get it. Matt Ryan gets it all by himself. How about that?
That just went from dumb to gutsy.
Wow, Coach Jags going for it. Right at his own 40 with only a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and Jagodzinski's over there watching. Oh, I knew it all the time, he says. Yeah.
He's had some demonstrative displays on the sidelines. Famous chest bump that Matt Ryan gave him in the Virginia Tech win, in which Jags went sprawling on the field. Ryan dumping down. to McCluskey, the fullback, as Daryl Sharpton makes the stop after a 4-yard gain. So the Heisman Trophy race wide open. And how are your picks shaping up this week or this instant?
Well, this week is right, this instant, because it's who do you love at last, I think, is what the Heisman is about. And I like McFadden right now. Just watching him play against LSU yesterday and the things he brings to his team, his ability to play quarterback and then throw the football and be effective in that regard. He just is an outstanding all-around player, the best in the country, in my opinion. Tim Tebow, yeah, he's done some good things. Just a sophomore. He'll have years to win it. But Matt Ryan, he's right on the edge there. And I haven't been blown away by him today. A couple interceptions and forced the ball in a few times here and there. But I'll tell you what, watching him on film, prepared for this game, he was fun to watch. I did a lot of rewinding to see if I really saw what I thought I saw, and I did.
Yeah, see, the interceptions are piling up this season. However, now with 16, he had 2 more today. Does throw the ball an awful lot. Pressure coming. He's retreating and throws it towards the feet of L.V. Whitworth, as he had a lot of Hurricanes bearing down on him, including Therese McCray.
Yeah, and it was actually the middle linebacker, Tavares Gooden, who we've mentioned his name a lot today. He came up and took that pass play away, covering the back, nowhere for Ryan to throw the thing.
So they went for it and got the first down at the 40, but the drive stalls at the 47 after going for it on 4th and short. And there's Gooden sitting in the sun, which I'm sure feels really good to all these guys from Miami. That's one thing. At least their sideline is still in the sunshine, whereas BC is in shadows. Ayers' punt might have been blocked. It goes into the stands. I've never seen that before.
I don't think anyone got a hand. I think he just shanked it. Now the pressure was there. I think he took his eyes off the ball, worried about the pressure coming around him, and he almost missed it.
That was an 8-yard punt.
I know how that feels. I had a -7-yard punt back in my high school career, Pam, but boy, he just misses the football. Damian Berry had some pressure, but you're right, he put that one up in the front row.
Wow, and the fans actually threw it back onto the field.
With some rotten fruit.
Wow, so Ayers with an awful 8-yard punt gives Miami the ball at their own 45. Very good field position, and they're only down a touchdown. Pass flared out to Darrell Jenkins, and Jenkins picks up 7. Gauze comes up with the stop for BC.
And this is an effective play when you have a quarterback who has a strong enough arm to get it out there in a hurry to buy that receiver time to make his moves. And Kyle Wright, very impressive arm. He has all the tools. You know, a big strapping 6'4", 225-pounder, very strong arm, intelligent kid. And you just wonder why he wasn't able to continue the early success that he had as a starting quarterback for Miami. And I think a lot of it has to do with the people around him.
There's been so much criticism leveled at him, as that's a first down run for Thomas. But the talent level has diminished over the years. We've already discussed about how he's had so many different coordinators, different coaches, and it really has been a disappointing career, especially after such a promising start. But still, he's in the top 10 in several categories in the great history of Miami quarterbacks. So statistically, he's gotten it done, but not the great success.
Right. He started out 8-1 in his career as a starter, and is 10-10 in the last 20.
Play action, looking downfield. Here comes the pressure as his receivers were covered, and Wright makes a nice run before Roger Rollins tracks him down 8 yards downfield. We go back to Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, a little bit of an under-the-radar game in the Big East. South Florida and Pittsburgh. South Florida still in the top 25 in the BCS. And Matt Grothe. Oh, they've compared him to Flutie, but Flutie usually ran a lot sideways. Grothe's going straight down the field, 80 yards, and the Bulls have a 20-14 lead in Heinz Field.
And that's the thing that Grothe can do with the run. He was running out of gas there at the end, but somehow was able to get it on in for South Florida. He is one tough kid, Matt Grothe. First down run, and Thomas slips down as he was able to kind of turn around 180 degrees. Picked up 5 and the first down for Miami. Miami has beaten Boston College 15 straight times. The last time BC won was when Doug Flutie threw that miracle pass in 1984. BC got on top of this game 14-0, and Miami's fighting back. Miami needs to win to become bowl eligible for the 10th straight season, and to avoid being on the wrong edge of some of the other numbers we just showed you. Randy Shannon's first year. Right, going down, fumbled first. And Boston College picks it up. Mark Herzlich, number 94, right there, coming in with the hit.
Boy, and Kyle Wright had a tight end wide open in the middle. All he had to do was get his eyes down there and find him, because Richard Gordon had a nice big hole, and there was no way. Wright just never saw him. As you see the official trying to calm a Miami player down out there. That's Orlando Franklin, the true freshman. They're still arguing about who might have had the football at the bottom there.
Herzlich coming up with the hit. Brady Smith came up with the football and without a helmet on.
Yeah. All right, here's your tight end. You're going to watch him. He's going to be wide open right in the middle of the field after the play action. Man, there's nobody there. You see him kind of getting through that hole. Nobody saw him in the secondary, but Kyle Wright did not have the time. You see that tight end, 84, back there in the middle of your screen, wide open. Had Wright maybe gotten his eyes there quicker, or had just a little fraction of a second, he might have been able to find it, but he was open.
So a big turnover. Ryan throwing with pressure and somehow completes it. Matt Ryan going down, throws across the field to Rich Gunnell right before Vegas Franklin leveled him.
Boy, and that's one of the more amazing throws that Matt Ryan has made. It's amazing to me that he even saw the receiver out there, and then to conceptualize where that guy is going to be and where he has to throw it in order to make the completion. And Gunnell, he's the guy who caught the big touchdown pass against Clemson on a similar type play where Ryan's rolling one way, sees him the other way, and just heaves one up there, and Gunnell goes and gets it.
20-yard gain for BC in the first down. Now in Miami territory. Ryan pursued. He loses the football, and Miami picks it up. Levon Ponder gets it and takes it all the way down to the 41-yard line. That's a 19-yard return of the fumble.
Colin McCarthy, the linebacker on the blitz, is the one who knocked it loose. Matt Ryan thought he had cleared the rush, cleared all the trash, going to work it to the edge and try and find somebody to throw to, and McCarthy, with the relentless rush, comes and knocks it away from him. Watch McCarthy show up from getting up off the ground, slaps at the ball. That's a headsy football play, and then Ponder tries to take it down yonder. There's an old defensive coordinator right there who knows that you win with defense.
And this Miami defense not getting a lot of turnovers. 101st in the country coming in, -8 in turnover margin. Of course, that's helped out by the offense turning it over. Akins with the pressure on Wright for an incomplete pass. Fourth quarter coming up. Miami in good position right now to try to get closer to being bowl eligible.
ESPN.
And Miami has just come up with another big turnover. Boston College has now turned the ball over 4 times. Miami has turned it over twice as we're getting ready to get going here in the fourth quarter with Matt Ryan's team only up 14-7.
Yeah, and here's that last one. McCarthy gets up off the ground, chases Ryan down. He had never seen him. And the pass protection has become a problem late in the year for the Eagles.
Ryan sacked 9 times in the last 2 games coming into this one, as Jenkins has it for Miami on the second down play. Akins coming up to make the stop for BC. Matt Ryan's also thrown 2 interceptions today, and you see in the last 3 games they've given up 11 after giving up 9 total in the first 9 ball games.
Yeah, and part of that has to do with Matt Ryan holding the ball a little bit longer. And then also, you know, they've gone against some pretty good pass rushing football teams. some big defensive lines from Virginia Tech. Maryland had a great game against them. Clemson last week, and now Miami this week.
Wright has a man wide open in the left flat. That is Hill, and he runs for the Hurricane first down inside the 30-yard line. Mike McLaughlin making the stop, and you can see they are just all fired up.
And that's what doing this Miami team is the most dangerous. You know, when they start getting, feeling it a little bit and having some success, all of a sudden everybody's Dauber gets back up and they get going and they play more inspired football. And Wright took a hit after he threw that one. Bam, right there. Akins puts him on his back, but Wright hangs in there and finishes the deal and gets the chains moved, and Miami's in good position.
1st and 10 now from the 29. No play as that one's flared out to Jenkins.
Delay of the game. Number 3 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Boy, and then just like that, let a little air out of the balloon. And that's been the problem all year long for this Miami football team. They make some good things happen, and then they hurt themselves.
To 13 minutes, 46 seconds.
Because, a 1st and 15 is a tough situation.
Momentum squarely in their favor, and then the delay of game pushes them back now to the 34-yard line, but it is only first down. Miami once down 14-0 in this game. Boston College has not scored in the second half. Right, little play action on the roll. Bullseye to Chris Zellner, his tight end, and Zellner close to another Miami first down.
And finally, someone must have got to Kyle Wright and told him to look for the tight end on the bootleg because he's been open all game long. We saw it on the previous drive, and here it happens again. This tight end's just going to fight through and come across on the play action. That's Zellner. You see him kind of, 2 ships passing in the night, runs past that middle linebacker who's late to get there. Pruitt not able to make the play.
Zellner came to Miami as a defensive end on his 10th catch of the season. Right up the gut goes Duron Thomas for 3 yards. We go back to Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, check quickly on a couple of games. Virginia Tech and Virginia. Watch Jameel Sewell, the quarterback from the Cavaliers. Left-hander running right, gets his shoulders turned and fires a dart to Jonathan Stupper. That set up Sewell's own touchdown run, 23-21 the score there. Andre Woodson hit Stevie Johnson, and the Wildcats on the board against Tennessee, though the Vols answered with a field goal. 17-7 Tennessee trying to make the SEC title game.
Thank you, Reese. So many great games with so much on the line. On 2nd and 7, Miami rolling. Duron Thomas, another first down, fights towards the goal line. Took 4 Eagles to get him down. That's a 13-yard gain. 1st and goal for the Hurricanes from the 2.
Boy, that was very impressive to me by Kyle Wright because he looked down the field first and then quickly made his decision, zipped the ball out there to Thomas, and he threw it in a manner that Thomas was able to continue full speed down the field, and then he showed you what he can do after the catch. I mean, he's fighting hard, and Kyle Wright's doing pretty well here in the second half, at least in terms of yards per reception. 75 yards on just 6 throws.
Now a 1st and goal from the 2. Another play fake, and then with heavy pressure coming up the middle, he throws it away. That's Mark Herzlich again. The sophomore linebacker that Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator, is so excited about the future of this guy.
Yeah, he lost 17 pounds from last year to kind of be able to be quicker, and he's very good on the edge and in a nickel situation. You see Coach Spaz over there with the towel over his shoulder. I don't know if you know who Hal Mummy is, the New Mexico State coach, former Kentucky coach. He kind of made the towel thing famous. I asked Spaz if he was a Mummy fan. He said no, he might be a Spaz fan though.
Well, that's where Hal got it from. Right into the end zone for the touchdown. Sam Shields catching it in front of Taji Morris. 2-yard score, and they're an extra point away from tying this up.
Another great throw from Kyle Wright. Just getting it over the top of the hands of Moore. And Shields showed you a little something, some strong hands bringing that thing in.
Well, they take advantage of the fumble recovery. Both Miami touchdowns coming as a result of BC turnovers. And we have a tie game. Francesco Zampogna with the extra point.
Randy Shannon happy about things, gathering up the troops. But this is Kyle Wright throwing a nice pass over the top, dropping it in, and then Shields with the strong hands ties it all up. Here come the Hurricanes.
So where are you going?
5454 Beethoven Street.
How you get to it? Bay Tower.
It's Beethoven. Hold on a sec.
Turn right onto Pico.
Ah, your lady friend, good with directions. She cooked too? No.
This holiday, don't just buy stuff, do stuff, like spread some joy. This weekend, hurry into Radio Shack for hot deals like the Virgin Mobile Super Slice phone, only $29.99, and the Sirius Stratus satellite radio. Go to RadioShack.com for other hot deals.
America's #1 movie is a 3D thrill ride. Rolling Stone says Beowulf will have you begging for more.
Such a strong man you are.
Beowulf, rated PG-13, now playing.
Every day, sweet sunshine. Everything is still. Every day, sweet sunshine. Everybody sing. Life can be as tasty as you want it to be. Every day, sweet sunshine. Every day, sweet sunshine. Every day, sweet sunshine. Won't you come and sing with me? Every day, sweet sunshine. Every day, 'cause every day your life needs to be fed as well. Every day, sweet sunshine. Oh, sunshine. Every day, sweet sunshine.
Welcome to the field of 328. The season-long journey continues with the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by Dish Network. This Tuesday, Coach K's resurgent Blue Devils battle the Wisconsin Badgers. And Wednesday, Tyler Hansbrough and the top-ranked Tar Heels take on a young Ohio State team.
That is a crowd pleaser.
Every game factors in. College basketball on ESPN. The bracket beyond the bracket.
ESPN College Football presented by Cars.com as you take a look at the Charles River on a sunny but very cold weekend. It's gotten chillier in here for BC fans. Once up 14-0. Now it's a 14-all game, and boy, Kyle Wright has really come alive here in the second half.
Yeah, and his receivers have made plays for him. That's the huge difference. You know, they had 7 dropped passes so far, but in that last drive, they had some great catches and then some run after the catch. And when those receivers perform, Kyle Wright ain't too bad.
Kevin Akins, who's a linebacker for BC, gets the kick and takes it up to the 27-yard line. Wright with a couple of touchdown passes this half. One to Ryan Hill, the other to Sam Shields.
I think one of the big differences in the second half for Matt Ryan is the pressure that's being put on him here more in the second half. He's taken some hits. He threw the interception early on, and then this last one that led to the last points, McCarthy sneaking up behind him, knocking it loose. Ponder picks it up. Miami capitalizes. And we got us a ball game. There's Ryan. You look at the numbers by half, and you know, a lot of that has to do with the pass rush that the Miami Hurricanes have been able to put on them. The pressure in the second half has really taken away the numbers from Matt Ryan. He got hit 4 times here in the second half, just once in the first.
Matt Ryan with a couple of touchdown passes in the first half, one to L.V. Whitworth, the other to Kevin Challenger after a Wright interception late in the second quarter. But he's got to get it going here in the second half. And the missed tackle has sprung Rich Gunnell. And Gunnell all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
All right, Chavez Grant had a chance to make a play in the open field, and Gunnell shook him. And that's huge run after the catch. And the key is the throw. Check this out. Matt Ryan double pumps it, but then bam, he throws a dart out there. And just a bad angle from Grant. And that allowed Gunnell to just turn it into a foot race. And he was lucky, or Miami was lucky, that they kept hustling. Bruce Johnson ran him down.
49-yard gain. And now going into the end zone. Terrific catch for the Boston College touchdown. Clarence Megwa with his second touchdown of the season, and BC breaks back on top.
Boy, just like that, Matty Ice gets it done. Had a little help from his friends. Gunnell with the big run after the catch. And then Megwa laying out on the perfect throw down the middle from Matt Ryan. And all of a sudden, BC answers in a big way.
Papanavicius for the extra point. It took 2 plays and 23 seconds for BC to regain the lead. And there is Matt's very proud father,
Michael Ryan. Very happy that his boy got her done there, and 2 quick plays, getting it down the field, and a big answer from BC. This is just a beautiful throw, man, right down the pipe, lays it out where only his receiver could get it, and Van Dyke just a little late on the coverage, and there he goes, number 28 on the year. Just broke another Doug Flutie record.
That's right. He came in today -2 behind Doug Flutie's single season record of 27 touchdown passes. And with that throw and great catch by Megwa, he now has the new record, 28 touchdown passes in 1 season. And more importantly to Matt, his team's winning again. Doug Flutie and he communicate. He says he gets text messages from Doug quite often.
Yeah, and he actually also communicates with Brett Favre. Coach Jags was Coach Favre when he was with the Packers, and he asked Favre to give him a call and, you know, kind of let him know the things he's got to prepare himself for in terms of some of the scrutiny in the media and whatnot, and they've kind of developed a relationship as well. And then he's got Tom Brady here in town that he loves to watch.
A lot of terrific role models, and Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes today. Boston College back on top, 21-14. Papanavicius with the kickoff. Jenkins grabs it at the 15. Good kick coverage as he is down to the 23. And Matt Ryan has had some magical comebacks already this season.
Ryan past the 30, throwing to the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College! Unbelievable!
Looking downfield, deep down the left sideline, wide open is Gunnell. Touchdown, Boston College!
That throw to Gunnell came with 1:46 left, a 43-yarder to beat Clemson and get to the ACC championship game. They've already clinched that spot. And those are his 4th quarter stats in those 2 very important games. Right up top and a little bit too far for Chris Zellner, the tight end, as we go back to Reese Davis for an update.
Playoffs, football championship series, UMass and Fordham. The Rams down by 7. John Skelton buys himself a little time looking for Sylvester Clark, and he found him. And Fordham, number 25, they've tied up UMass. Still a lot of time to go in the 4th there. Appalachian State getting late. They trail by 5, and Montana just underway against Wofford.
Thank you, Reese. App State winning the last 2 championships in that subdivision. Elion Gauze, injured player, helped off and now sitting on the bench for Boston College. So the true freshman corner is out. And he was in for DeJuan Tribble, who continues to miss time with an injury. They hope to have him back next week. Good tackle as Cooper goes down. Robert Francois making the stop. They call him Tex because he's from Highlands, Texas.
A lot easier to say than Francois.
Francois, with nice French pronunciation. He was a 100-meter champion in Texas when he was in high school, and actually New England when he came up here for prep school. So he's got the speed and made a nice tackle on the very speedy Greg Cooper. 3rd and 10. A lot of folks stamping their feet. Alumni Stadium rocking. But Wright has time, gets his receiver, who breaks a couple of tackles. Terrific effort by Diedrich Epps. Plays H-back and also some tight end as he fought for every yard. Short of the first down, but great effort before McLaughlin was able to get him down. So a good hold for this Boston College defense after Matt Ryan threw his 3rd touchdown pass to regain the lead for the Eagles.
Kind of took the air out of that Miami team that tried to make a little bit of a run. They had things going. They were excited. Now not so much.
Bosher's punt, very high, I should say, and it bounces away from Jamie Silva, who will not pick it up this time, and it rolls dead at the 25.
Matt Ryan getting ready to come back out on the field. That last series brought his team back. Matt Heisman, they call him around here. Matty Heisman, he's still in that race. Got his team up by 7.
Weather, my goodness, way to go, guys. We appreciate everything you do, especially on this Thanksgiving weekend. Brian Sachs, our pilgrim, who gave us some of the...
nice hat.
Yeah, Saxy always has the hat going. Had the pilgrim hat with the lineups. As it's one of the few times you'll not see him in shorts because it's 30 degrees outside. But really, we have a great crew. Jonathan Lebovich, our producer, and Craven Martin, our director. And hard to believe we're already, gosh, it's almost December, Ray. We're almost there. Timeout on the field. Coming up tonight, national title hopes certainly on the line. Chase Daniel in Missouri takes on Todd Reesing in unbeaten Kansas. The winner goes on to the Big 12 title game and has a chance possibly to play for it all. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Remington at 8 Eastern. College football lives here, and I can't wait to see that game. Missouri and Kansas coming up. And it's about as close as it can get. Missouri did win big last year, and the winner goes to the Big 12 championship game, and Kansas is unbeaten. Never thought we'd live to see the day to say that late in November, that Kansas would be unbeaten in football. His calendar is taken down immediately by Kenny Phillips for no game.
Yeah, and then these two teams have played for pretty much a chance to be #1 when the rankings come out again on Sunday. Missouri at #4, Kansas at #2, LSU was #1, not no more.
West Virginia at #3, playing against Connecticut in a game that will start at the bottom of the hour in Morgantown. Ryan to his tight end Purvis, and he picks up 7. Gooden with the stop. Ryan, as always, doing a good job of distributing the football. 4 receivers have at least 50 yards of receptions today, led by Gunnell. 8 catches for 112 yards. Of course, he had about half of that on one catch that set up the last touchdown.
Yeah, and that's when you know your quarterback understands the offense. When you have a lot of guys making plays at the receiver. He's got 5 receivers with 38 or more catches coming into today's game. That means he understands the concept and gets the ball where the defense dictates it to go.
3rd and 3, Gunnell again. Rich Gunnell with the catch. First down, 23 more yards as Ryan got rid of it just in time.
Boy, what a move by Gunnell. Went with the outside release initially and then crossed over, and it creates the separation. And then Matt Ryan, of course, going to make that accurate throw. And I'm so impressed with his arm, in particular the accuracy in the intermediate throws. He throws it where his guys can comfortably make the catch and keep running.
So now a first down from the 45. BC with the 7-point lead. And Callender breaks free. He is gone for the touchdown. on his first 11 carries.
He is so valuable to this football team with all the things he does. The leading receiver, leading rusher, outstanding in pass protection. He's going to be a heck of a third down back on Sundays in the future.
Apanavicius with the extra point. Callender with his 13th touchdown of the season, his 9th on the ground. He leads the ACC in TDs.
And what happened on that last one, Pam, is they caught Kenny Phillips, the safety. Watch him. He's right here. Usually he's going to cover in the middle of the field. He's going to creep up and try and stop the run. And as soon as he gets too far into the line, you bust through there. There's nobody left. He splits the remaining two guys, the other safety in the corner. That's Sharp and Randy Phillips. But bam, as soon as that strong safety was taken out of the picture, it was a foot race. Callender split the seam, and he was off to the races.
BC coming into this game had the fewest 10-plus yard runs in the nation, only 24 on the season. That's tied with Duke for worst. And that time, busting free for a 45-yard. That is an explosive play.
Yeah, give Steve Logan, the offensive coordinator, some credit on that one, because Miami had really gone to the blitz game. They were bringing the heat. And so you run a draw at them knowing that there's not going to be anyone at home in the middle of the field. And if you pop it through that first wave, you got a chance to go the distance, and indeed they did.
So Miami tied this game up. 23 seconds later, Boston College took the lead back on Matt Ryan's third TD pass of the day. And now they have 14 points in the last 2 minutes and 55 seconds.
You all right over there?
All right. Headset flew, but I caught it. Jenkins with the kickoff return. Let's go back to Reese Davis.
All right, Pam, the clash for the ACC, Coastal, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. The Hokies Tyrod Taylor in now, and he would scoot in from about 6 yards out. 9-point lead for Virginia Tech. Jameel Sewell, the quarterback for the Cavaliers, has left this game. Still a lot of time to go, though.
So much on the line in that game. Great rivalry anyway. There's a penalty on the kickoff.
Calling in for some help.
I was just going to say the winner of Virginia Tech will play Boston College a week from today in the ACC title game. And that is a huge game in Charlottesville.
And Coach Jaggs has done an outstanding job coming into this program that was, really set up for him perfectly to come on in as you see the potential opponent.
Well, Virginia Tech would love to get another shot at BC.
Yeah.
They really outplayed them for about 58 minutes in the rain in Blacksburg.
2 fouls on the play. During the turn, there was a block in the back against the receiving team. There was a personal foul, hands to the face against the kicking team. Fouls will offset, will re-kick.
So Apanavicius will come right back out to kick it. This Boston College team trying to exorcise the demon, really, that's been hanging over them for 23 years. And that is that they have not beaten this Miami team. Lost 15 straight to them. And they're trying to get that monkey off their back. And Coach Jaggs, in some very nice company, got off to that 8-0 start, which was the best start ever in the ACC. And trying to get to his 10th win in his first season, which would tie him with Ken Hatfield at Clemson and Ralph Friedgen in his first year at Maryland.
And he was telling us when he came in here, things were set up pretty good. There were systems in place. He kept Frank Spaziani, the defensive coordinator, so he didn't have to worry about that part of it. And he kind of bamboozled Steve Logan into coming back from NFL Europe, because that bad boy finished, and things really came together for him.
Kick fielded at the 7 by Jenkins. Steered towards the sidelines by Herzlich, who makes yet another stop as we go back to Reese Davis. Reese.
All right, Pam, checking in now on the playoffs in the football championship series. Appalachian State and James Madison back and forth all day. 4th and 4. Oh, Monty Edwards to Devon Moore, and I mean just barely. With under 90 seconds to go, it set up Edwards on the next play to get in for a touchdown. Monty Edwards, who led the upset of Michigan to start this season, trying to keep his team alive in the playoffs in the football championship subdivision, 28-27.
Wow, with 49 seconds left to go. App State playing in Boone, North Carolina, as Jenkins was the receiver on that play and was able to do a game down there last week. That's quite an atmosphere, last year rather, quite an atmosphere down in Boone for those playoffs. Such an exciting time of year as they decide it on the field in that subdivision.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's novel,
Top 16 teams and let them fight it out on the field. That's a good idea.
Division III, it's 32 teams. Division II sends 24, and the championship subdivision, or 1AA, as we like to call it, because it's easier, 16 teams. And we'll be fortunate in a couple weeks. We'll do a semifinal.
83 the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Sam Shields moving early, the receiver. And next week, the MAC championship game in Detroit, Central Michigan, and Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, Miami Redhawks taking on the Central Michigan Chippewas. Looking forward to that ball game. It's great. I love football at the end of the year when games have so much more meaning to them.
That will be for the MAC title, and I like it because it's at Ford Field where there's heat. 2nd and 9 after the penalty. Miami needs to score twice. Right, sidesteps pressure, and then turns it up. And falls forward past the 30-yard line, picked up 3. Nick Larkin with the tackle, one of 22 seniors on this Boston College Eagle team. Senior laden and trying to go out with a trip to with an ACC championship. Andre Callender, Jamie Silva with his folks. DeJuan Tribble hurt, but his family is there. And finally, Matt Ryan, the last being called out. He's so close to his family. And they're here to see him as always. Right over the middle, caught, stretching for the first down is tight end Chris Zellner. McLaughlin with the tackle. And boy, what a class this has been, Ray, for these seniors.
Yeah, you look at it, and yeah, they haven't really beaten Miami yet. 0-1 you see there, but it looks like they're going to get that done today. But this group has really kind of shepherded the program over the last 4 or 5 years, and they've won a lot of games, they've played some outstanding football, and it's all going to pay off for them in an ACC title opportunity next week.
Right tackle down right near the line of scrimmage by Brady Smith. They are assured of playing in that ACC championship game next week. The question is, will it be Virginia or Virginia Tech? One thing Matt Ryan said to us yesterday was when they came in as a class, they really thought they could do something special and get to a BCS Bowl as a class, and this is their last chance to do it. Right with time, throws it into double coverage, and somehow Epps is able to make the catch. That ball was thrown on a string as Silva made the stop, but it's 13 yards and a first down.
Yeah, there were 3 BC defenders all around Epps, and somehow that ball was able to thread through there and get to him as Miami understands the situation and are in that no huddle hurrying up situation.
They still do have all three of their timeouts. Now into BC territory at the 48, right to Zellner, and the tight end is stopped down only a couple of yards downfield by Tyrone Pruitt. Pruitt playing on a bum ankle. We have not seen a whole lot of Gerald Dunbar actually out there now, as Dunbar has been playing hurt, number 40. One of the leaders of this Boston College team that wants to go out with the ACC championship. And a first down and more inside the 35-yard line. Deron Thomas gets 11. And Boston College defense really is kind of patched up. Look at all of these players they've been missing. B.J. Raji has been out because of academic issues. Brian Toll, very important with the medical red shirt after shoulder surgery.
Yeah, he was a huge part of this defense last year and an outstanding player, and they lost him before the season even started. So they've had a lot of people step up and make plays for Coach Spaziani. And, you know, he said the one effect that it did have on him, because his philosophy is to play a lot of players. And so they do that anyway. But what had happened, he says, is it took guys that normally I'd like to play 30 snaps a game. All of a sudden, those guys got to play 50, 60 snaps a game. And that's where you get your drop off a little bit. But, boy, they had really filled in and done it. Patchwork well.
Right, trying to get that in. Dunbar right in front of Ryan Hill. So Dunbar, one of those guys who's playing valiantly with a hurt ankle. We saw him yesterday. He's got a high ankle sprain and not feeling too well. But this is his last game, too. Here, the seniors leaving their last game here at Alumni Stadium. And Dunbar has had a terrific career. And now many of the BC defenders waving their arms to get the crowd involved on 3rd and 5.
The feet are stomping.
3rd and 6, actually. Right underneath, nothing doing, incomplete as Thomas was run into by Jim Ramella.
Yeah, there's no doubt Miami will go for this. Even though it's 4th and 6, I can't imagine anything else. And they are bringing some receivers out onto the field, a different personnel group, but they have to go for it.
Miami playing to be bowl eligible. They are 5 and 6 on the season, 1 for 2 on 4th downs today. And of course, they have to score not once but twice to keep their season alive. Wright trying to run for the first down, and he'll get it. A flag is down, however, back towards the line of scrimmage. Rollins making the stop. And Wright with a great effort lunging towards the sticks.
I think Fox was holding on that one. Looked to me like he had a hold of Akins.
And that is coming back. Andy Shannon looking on his first season as the head coach at Miami.
Holding, 64 of the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. 4th down.
Boy, you see it so often when a quarterback takes off running and the pass protector's locked up with a defender and he starts to leave. Instinctively, you grab a hold of him. And that's exactly what they did.
This is why you're going for it. They're trying to become bowl eligible for the 10th straight season, and they don't want to have a losing record. Also, 97, the last time they had a losing record. And Randy Shannon doesn't want to be the first-year head coach of Miami with a losing record since Howard Schnellenberger. 4th and 16. Right hit, ball incomplete. BC takes over as Kevin Akins got into Kyle Wright, and he's shaken up.
Yeah, that was a chest shot, kind of a knock the wind out of you type shot as Akins came on a delayed rush. There were only 3 defensive linemen. He was the 4th guy, and he brought the heat and brought it in to the quarterback. Kyle Wright, here he comes to the left side of your screen. Whack right there. That's going to leave a mark. And Randy Shannon very upset. His team down 14 with 3:44 to go.
Taco Bell's Chipotle Grilled Stuffed Burrito, loaded with marinated carne asada steak, Chipotle seasoned rice, all covered in a spicy Southwest Chipotle sauce.
You want like?
Good.
Dude, you gotta try this.
For taste, not fire, think outside the bun.
So I asked my dad where he wanted to go for his 60th birthday. Norway, he said, the land of our ancestors. We drank a pint at Ibsen's favorite pub. We sampled the local fare. We got new sweaters.
I feel like yodeling.
It was the trip of a lifetime, Dad said, until we went to the Hall of Records and discovered we were actually Swedish. 2 tickets to Stockholm, please?
Whatever your story is, your Citi card can help you write it. Citi, let's get it done.
Now, the hit is on. Hitman, rated R, now playing only in theaters.
Smell like a sound. I'm lost in a crowd, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
Ahoy.
Check out exclusive behind-the-scenes videos only at GameInvasion.net.
This week on Countdown, the early holiday gift that Belichick gave his players to keep them humble. And we sit down with Michael Strahan to talk about going from near retirement to continuing to be one of the best. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
That's a great movie.
No doubt. Who's driving an RV? Ben Gundy, I think. What?
ESPN, your NBA destination for games Wednesdays and Fridays.
Touchdown, and he just ran for a couple of yards here on first down. There you see looking east towards Boston. You see the skyline in the background. We are on the campus of Boston College Alumni Stadium. Thank you, Ray. Those are the big tall buildings out there. And BC fans, a lot to cheer about, and they hope that the cheering will reach a crescendo about 3 minutes of playing time from now, as they'll try to grind out the clock. McCluskey, the fullback, with the carry. Matt Ryan, his final game at Alumni Stadium. We'll play in the ACC Championship game next week in Jacksonville, and then a bowl game. And we are inside of 3 minutes. Miami takes its first time out. Matt Ryan has thrown a couple of interceptions today, but he's still getting up close to 400 yards.
Yeah, he got 369, started out the day giving Mom a little flour and some love, and then he gave it to L.B. Whitworth on that touchdown. Drops this one inside to Callender, and then his third touchdown pass of the day, a picture-perfect throw to Megwa on that two-play drive they had when the thing was tied up. He said, not today. We're going to break that string of 23 years, 15 consecutive losses to Miami. Not anymore, says Matt Ryan.
First half putting up the bigger numbers, but coming up with a touchdown pass, and frustration now as flags come down before the play even gets off the ground.
Before the snap, false start, number 85 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, third down.
That's the tight end, Ryan Thompson, called for the false start.
They had a nice play action pass all set up too, Pam.
Single season record, Matt Ryan passing Doug Flutie for the most touchdown passes thrown in one season. Flutie had 27 in that magical year of 1984 in which he won the Heisman. And it was also the last time Boston College beat Miami. Doug Flutie, a legend here, as Callender goes outside, picks up about a yard. We go back to Reese Davis.
Pam, you will not believe how the James Madison Appalachian State game ended. James Madison, look, they're inside the 10. One more play, kick the field goal. And Jamal Sullivan somehow has that thing knocked loose. When you're charmed, you're charmed. Appalachian State survives in the football championship subdivision playoffs.
Wow, can you believe that? Amazing. App State coming away with a 1-point win with James Madison right down there, Ray.
Oh, man, that rips your heart out if you've ever been on the wrong side of one of those, that you're right set up to win and then you somehow make a mistake. Oh, that's a killer.
Now Matt Ryan over on the sidelines now with the fourth down. And Johnny Ayers into punt. His last punt went for a whopping 8 yards. Looking for more than that as he really shanked one off the side of his foot. Darnell Jenkins waits back inside his 20. Miami now with only one timeout remaining and less than 3 minutes to go. They're going for the block but don't get near it. Jenkins fields it at the 25, reverses field, and is taken down at the 28. 33-yard punt, 3-yard return for Jenkins. Rollins made that last stop. Doug Flutie, number 22. He was the man the last time Boston College won in this series. We take you back to 23 years ago. Last play of the game. And Gerard Phelan somehow catches it behind 3 Miami defenders. The miracle in Miami, almost 23 years to the day to this game.
Boy, nobody thought Flutie could throw the ball that far. He unleashed that one.
Right with the throw, caught right in front of the first down sticks by Darnell Jenkins. Rollins coming up with another stop as the clock continues to roll.
And you won't see Miami folded up. That's the one thing Randy Shannon has said about his football team, that they have not quit. They've had adversity, they've had mistakes and all those things, but the effort and staying with it and keeping working is something they've been able to do, which is a good sign for the future.
Ryan Hill with the first down catch. There have been some reports in Miami, and actually a couple of players. In fact, Tavares Gooden said of last week's effort against Virginia Tech, he said he didn't think anybody, or everyone, excuse me, on his team really wanted to win. And Randy Shannon quickly shot that down, saying everybody's entitled to his opinion. His opinion, Shannon's opinion, is that no one has quit. And that certainly is his demeanor. As that ball is thrown behind Epps, Randy Shannon has never quitted anything in his life and expects all of his players and coaches to follow suit.
Yeah, he spoke about, changing the culture down there to getting it to a little more discipline, which you touched on, and Rob talked about earlier with the rules and the things that he's established there in his first year. And then, the other part of it is doing the extra work and fighting through and finding ways to get over the hump, and that's where they've struggled.
2nd and 10, right? With time. Completes it to his tight end Zellner. He might lose a yard. In fact, he does, as we are now inside of 2 minutes. Francois with another stop.
Yeah, he lost a yard, but he got it out of bounds, stopped the clock for him, which is probably more important at this point, although they're facing a 3rd and 11 now.
Boston College led this game 14-0 at the half. Miami came back to tie it, but within 2.5 minutes, BC had the 14-point lead right back. Right, goes down, forced to take off, and Akins got him from behind. Now on 4th down, they'll go for it.
And Akins is a very good pass rusher. He's the guy they bring in there when they go to the 3-man front. Akins comes in as that extra nickel linebacker, and then they kind of let him blitz, pick wherever he wants to go, and he is extremely good at finding a place and a gap to get inside.
So Miami burns its final timeout. Akins was a high school sprinter, showing you some speed on that play and throughout the afternoon. 4th and 12. This could be Kyle Wright's last play as the Miami quarterback. Remember, later tonight, a huge one coming up on ABC at 8 Eastern Time. Chase Daniel leads Missouri against Todd Reesing, and unbeaten Kansas. Winner goes to the Big 12 title game and a possible chance for the national championship. Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Southwest Airlines, part of Rivalry Week, presented by Remington at 8 Eastern. College football lives here. Reesing's numbers sick. 30 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. And now the bowl-eligible teams updated because Maryland has just defeated NC State. So Maryland is going to get that 8th and final spot. NC State going in today 5-6. They are eliminated, and it looks, barring a huge miracle, like Miami will be eliminated. 4th down, Wright goes down. Kevin Akins again coming in for another sack. 4th BC sack today, and the ball goes over on downs to the Eagles.
A fitting way for Akins to finish things off. He just comes off the edge, and Matt Ryan, he knows what just happened. Time to throw your hat, because they're going to the ACC title game with 10 wins under their belt.
After going in on a high, this will be the first time since 1940, only the second time ever, that Boston College has won 10 regular season games. First time that they've won 10 games in back-to-back seasons ever. So a lot of good things happening for BC, and they're going into that ACC championship game on a roll.
Yeah, and don't even have to try to get any yards here. Miami out of timeouts. Matty Ice will take a couple of knees and call it a day.
What a day it has been. What a career it has been for Matt Ryan and Jeff Jagodzinski in his very first season as the head coach, hoping to take his team to a height it's never been before, and that is a BCS Bowl. Who they play still to be determined, as Virginia and Virginia Tech are battling in Charlottesville. As Ryan takes another knee.
And Matt Ryan had a very impressive day in my eyes. I don't know if it was enough, though, to kind of bump him up on my Heisman list.
Hey, it's official now. Virginia Tech has beaten Virginia, so Boston College and Virginia Tech with a rematch coming up next week in Jacksonville.
Yeah, BC trailed Virginia Tech 10-0 with a couple minutes left in that game, and they managed to pull it out. A couple of Matt Ryan touchdown passes. They outplayed for 58 minutes and still won the ball game. That means you're doing some things right there at the end, and they got the guy that you want with the ball in his hands, the guy right there.
Jeff Jagodzinski, the coach, said they want to put the legacy of 1984 to rest and start their own legacy today by finally breaking a 15-game losing streak to the Hurricanes that dates back all the way to '84. And Randy Shannon's first season ends with his team a 5-7 record. A great senior day for BC, including Jamie Silva, as we go down now to Rob Simmelcare.
All right, thank you very much. Here with Matt Ryan. Matt, you did what you wanted to do. You broke that streak against Miami, finished here at home on a positive note in your senior season. What's all that mean to you?
It was a great win today for the seniors to win their final home game here at Alumni, and to beat Miami, something we haven't done since 1984. It was pretty special, and I think we played really tough today.
A little news flash for you. Virginia Tech just won their game, so you'll have a rematch against them down in Jacksonville. What do you look for there?
It's going to be a tough game. Virginia Tech's a very good football team. We're excited about the challenge next week, and hopefully we can go win a championship.
All right, congrats on the win. We'll see you next week.
All right,
Matt Ryan, thank you. Pam, back to you.
All right, Robin. Matt told us yesterday that we just keep winning. Everything will take care of itself. And they do keep winning. A huge win last week against Clemson to clinch a spot in the ACC championship game, and they get the monkey off their back. Finally, they beat Miami.
Yeah, and they did it in typical BC fashion, as Miami kind of rescued it for a little while, got it tied up at 14-all, but then Matt Ryan took over the ball game, and he was outstanding on the day. 26 of 43 for 369 yards, 3 touchdowns, a couple interceptions. Hit Whitworth with that one early on. Nice little dump over the middle there to Challenger for his touchdown, and then Megwa, the big one there. And Matt Ryan gets it done.
Back-to-back 300-yard games for him, now 11 in his career. Bowl-eligible teams, there are 8 spots in the ACC, and they have 8 teams. Maryland with the win over NC State gets in. Miami with the loss today is out.
Congratulations to you and your Terrapins getting in there, but it's going to be a great game. Boston College, Virginia Tech, the rematch. Can't wait to see that one. And BC on a roll heading into it.
Final score, Miami loses to Boston College 28-14 as Matt Ryan says goodbye for the final time to the fans at Alumni Stadium. Coming up next on ESPN, Notre Dame at Stanford. Continuing coverage of this game, check out Postgame Extra on ESPN News. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Ray Bentley and Rob Simmelcare, I'm Pam Ward as we say so long from Chestnut Hill, as we send it to Dave Lamont and Ed Cunningham.